fist, my hands steady. I'm ready to take this leap of faith, and my palms sweaty. I'm so afraid, in a state of panic, I'm a basket case. I step back, I'm hell-bent. In this first attempt, gotta keep the pace. If God forgives, I'm ready to live this life full of unpromised days. So fuck it now, I'm all in. Hate motherfuckers wanna keep me down, and what goes around, it comes around. If heaven don't want me, then I'm hellbound. And inside my man, it's Southside land. Set fire to the past, walk through these ashes. Fighting for the best, still black, Freddy Chappin. Come and take a ride with me, motherfucker, hop in. Welcome back, got a full clip. All aboard this crazy train. No money, no cars, no champagne, but I'm still alive and I can't complain. I'm trauma free, it's plain to see. Getting used to these growing pains. Success is certain, back to work, and goddamn, I can feel the change. Inside of the corner, I'm paranoid. On the surface, I play it cool and I'm afraid of heights, but out of spite, you put me up on this pedestal. But I love you, and I can't deny. Drive myself crazy with the reasons why I can't come to terms with the word goodbye, and the reason is there's no reply. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage, so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage, so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. So I sit back and relax, still asking myself the same questions. Ignore the facts, I can't turn back. God, please answer me, I'm sick of guessing. I clench my fist, it's gut-wrenching. Show me the way to the peace that I'm missing. I'm not religious, but remember this: I live my life with the best of intentions. Don't bullshit me, it's hard to believe, and everything around me is so diseased. So answer this: who the fuck are you, and who the fuck am I supposed to be? Should I listen to God and all his prophets? Listen to the greed that aligns my pocket. Listen to the hypocrites compared to the prophet. Listen to the pain that I've clearly adopted. I can't move on when I'm stuck in the past. Hard to forget with a flag at half-mast. Hard to live when it moves so fast, and everything around me is made of glass. And I wanna let you know that I got the message. Stuck in the rut and I'm up for suggestions, but where the fuck is the light of my tunnel? So hand me the bounce, I'm starting to stumble. They always say
you guys are getting here late, huh? Okay, good deal, Eddie. I was we had been talking about it. I was gonna message you while the timer was going down to make sure something was happening. Good deal, buddy. What's up, Mark, Carolyn, everybody? How's it going? About time you guys got here.
Now pay attention. Welcome to my sideshow. Enjoy the free admission. The drama club isn't accepting submissions. Done with all that bullshit. This family's nothing to fuck with. Unless you really want it, then we'll add you to that hit list. Tried to prevent these events to such extent, I gave in. I was hell-bent, I still lost you in the end. I take 2 sets forward and I take 3 sets back. You can hear the contradiction, maybe I really am a psycho.
Where you guys been anyways?
It's days and weeks of feeling weak, no sleeping and repeat. Lose your mind and then you find it and get buried underneath the happiness, the pain, and you be getting no relief. What the fuck am I saying? All you faggots paying attention. God blessed you with ears, but you idiots never listen. I guess in what I'm saying, since there is no comprehension, my bleeding heart fell apart, let it be your intervention. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for
being on here every night. I don't think so, Carolyn. The last couple nights I haven't seen you. I know one night I was specifically ignoring you on purpose, but that's because me and Mark planned it. But the rest of the nights, I don't know where you was at. That's right, hit the like button. Somebody's got to like it. So many people hating on us. Somebody's got to like it.
Shit, I don't know, but I ain't getting any younger. Not made up, but I made up. I suggested you just keep a zip. Had to lose my brother to learn the value of relationships. I can't forget, I take myself a little trip down memory lane. It's as real as it gets. Sometimes I scare myself from what I really might do. I keep telling you, I've got a couple screws loose, but you refuse to
Hold on just a second, guys.
You can join me in the institute. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. I am back, I am better than ever. I survived a little storm and kept my own shit together. But inside my desperation, I was seeking desperate measures. There's a change up in the season, and I'm just a little weathered. There's a thin line between happiness and misery. Pursue the truth, life is not a fucking mystery. Get a clue, common sense is not your enemy. I was just like you, concerned with just the victory. I used to be a hothead, got a firm grip on my temper. I'm on that next level, balanced and I'm centered. Pain is dangerous, it seems to be my motivator. I'm the type to shoot first and ask the questions later. Can't tell me nothing, this motherfucker knows I tried. I sent him messages, 1,000 prayers with no reply. Can't call my nightmares with a motherfucking lullaby. So fire up that cigarette, pour a shot that multiplies.
Hello, can you all hear me? Sorry, we have like no water pressure and lay in the bath, so he is currently checking the water issue. Sorry.
Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me.
Told me just to come and talk, just to feel the airspace, but the joys of living in the wild.
With clenched fists, my hands steady. I'm ready to take this leap of faith, and my palms sweaty. I'm so afraid, in a state of panic. I'm a basket case. I step back. I'm hell bent. In this first attempt, gotta keep the pace. If God forgives, I'm ready to live.
No, we have water. There's just no pressure behind it, and like as little bit of hot water as we get here, Parisa, like the lack of water pressure is just gonna waste what little bit of hot water we have.
Welcome back at a full clip. All aboard this crazy train. No money, no cars, no champagne, but I'm still alive and I can't complain. I'm trauma free, it's plain to see. Getting used to these growing pains. Success is certain. Back to work and goddamn, I can feel the change. Side of the coin, I'm paranoid. At the surface, I play it cool and I'm afraid of heights, but out of spite, you put me up on this pedestal.
I don't really have anything good to say. Nothing new. Surviving. Come to the trailer hood. I grew up in a single wide. It's nothing like camper living. Leak in the line somewhere. God, Peter, I hope you are wrong. What did I do today? Absolutely nothing. Like most days. I got up, got the kids ready for school, and went back to bed till about 12:30. Well, mansion was a dorm for 8 months out of the year. You are a better woman than I am. Sorry, guys. He's trying to figure it out. Oh, I didn't get rid of him. He's trying to figure out why we have no water pressure right now at our shower. All right, he's back. Bye. I'll be in the chat once I get all in.
Nah, I'm back. Another thing they've destroyed I've got to fix. Hold on, let me get everything grabbed. You grab it back right quick and we'll start. Sorry for the delay.
Welcome to my sideshow. Enjoy the free admission. The drama club isn't accepting submissions. Done with all that bullshit. This family's nothing to fuck with. Unless you really want it, then we'll add you to that hit list.
All right, guys, here we go.
I gave in. I was held when I still
Hey.
Teach me how to duggy.
Hey.
Baby like,
What?
will you teach me how to duggy? You know why? 'Cause all my bitches love me. All I need is a beat that's super bumping. And for you to back it up and dump it.
Pump it out.
Your arms out front, lean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that duggy, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from Morningside. He go by Bubba and he hits the dance with thunder.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my duggy. Break it down.
你好吗？真长你好高兴，这真快乐，没过来。
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
I ain't from Dallas but I D-town booty. I show my moves off now if buddy trying to do me. I lead our functions and all the ladies trying to screw me.
Sweet.
Now you just do you and I'ma do me.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
Word.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my duggy.
This is a really hard job. Literally.
Help us.
Say what?
Welcome everybody. I am Will Bard. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. It was a parody music video by BT. The rest of the music by Jay Reese. And the skull logo by Raina. Thank you guys for joining us again tonight. Like I said, I'm Will Bard. This is Cold Beer Confessional. Got off to a little bit of a rough start. Low water pressure, but we're on like a hose. We're not running off the tanks. We're on like a straight hose, so it can't be the water pump. I think I got it running a little bit better. I think the filter I've got in line may need to be back flushed, is what I try to do real quickly. But it seems like it's at there because the hose has plenty of pressure. But anyways, we'll back at it for a little bit. We might have to stop and see before Liam takes a shower, see if we can pick up the pressure anymore. Oh, okay. Mariah's now talking off screen, trying to distract us and slow us down more. Thank you for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. We got a couple different things to go over today. I want to start off right off the bat. I did put Don Shipley's name in the title. I don't have him as like a guest or nothing. I'm just using one of his videos, and I have a lot of respect for him. He is a former Navy SEAL that calls out fake Navy SEALs. So I have a lot of respect for him. I wanted to put his name in there, but he's not going to come in. He's not on an interview. He's not on a Zoom call. I'm just putting his name in there so he gets the credit he deserves. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Joel, I hope you're all right. Marianne just told me that you had a stroke. It can't be good, man. I hope you're all right. Damn. Anyways, let us know if there's anything we can do. We're not far from you. If you need anything, we can do something. All right, so we got a couple videos we're going to start with first. We'll check those out. But before we get started, make sure you like and share the video. If you're on YouTube, like the video. Close the chat. If you're on your phone, like the video. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the backup channel. Subscribe to everything. Just subscribe. Just keep clicking subscribe until you see Scott McKay, and then click unsubscribe. And if you're on Facebook, like the video and like the page. Make sure you can find us somewhere. If you ever lose me, go to coldbeer.live. That is a redirect. It comes directly to my show. So I own a couple websites, but I usually just use them to redirect. Just like if you go to cultclub.com, spelled with K's, that's a redirect to a Stream Elements, so you can donate. It's just like a streamer website everybody uses on Twitch. So I have Buy Me a Coffee, and that is at buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. And then the last thing is the GoFundMe. You can get to that by the GoFundMe link, or you can go to coldbeer.fund. You can check all those out. I appreciate any support you can give us. If you want to, you want to. If you don't, you don't. Make sure you like the video. I appreciate it. The first thing we're gonna get started with is a little bit of a warm up. We've done these before, so we probably need to check these out. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, not Scotty Illuminati. Damn, I was on the wrong page. Here we go. Faith healers.
What happened when we were at the kitchen Wednesday?
Man of God laid hands on me, and I asked, part of that was special prayer, the blessing of the task that I had to perform today.
By the way, these were sent in to me. These next two videos were sent in to me by Discernment Files.
Laid hands on me. At first, I was just standing there, and all of a sudden he came back and he ambushed me in the street. And I'm telling you, the power of God went through me. It was like electricity. And I said, Lord, and I mean, it was like, how many brothers? That brother there had to hold me up. I was there. You and Fred. And I'm telling you, man, God showed out, showed up. And I'm telling you, this morning, the power of God was in this place. And I'm telling you, this morning.
No, I mean, like I got it fixed. I probably got 3/4 of the pressure back just by back flushing the filter. That's what it is. We don't actually have a regulator on it. We just have a backflow preventer.
You want more? Huh? Do you want more? Jeez.
All right, so he asked him if he wants to learn. So they were talking. So the black guy comes up and says, you know, we were standing in the kitchen one time, and I saw him put hands on people, and the guy was healed. And he starts to go away, and the preacher says, "Don't go away. You want to learn?" And he said, "Yeah." The preacher asked him, "You want to learn?" Then he motions for this guy, who is much smaller than this guy, to go get behind him. Okay, come on. You're the catcher. Here we go. Sneak attack. Ooh, took them both down.
Gonna be a good night. I asked him. Yeah. Never the same again. Are you okay?
That was some Last Airbender shit, man. Mortal Kombat or something. What was that?
Well, on the car ride, they were asking if
He's still on the ground. Could somebody get him up, or? Oh, we just pat him and then what? Yep, da. Now he's in tongues. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba. Zabba-dabba-da.
I just see him in set so many people.
There he is. Thank God the cameraman caught on to what was going on. He zoomed out a little bit.
And most of you know him. He wouldn't do stuff like that.
Right, amen.
Your all's boy, Pedophile, decided to call us all trolls today on his latest live stream.
Sometimes it's like God's operating table. Yes. Now, I'm kind of unusual because I died, went to heaven before I was 2 and came back. And, you know, once you see Jesus, you're never the same again.
Amen.
He died and went to heaven and saw Jesus and came back before he was 2. So that's why he's a little bit different.
And one of the things I want you to know, that God is no respecter of persons. If I can do it, you can do it too. Amen. You'll probably even do it better. Right. My God. I've just been doing this for like 54 years. Now, when I was a little kid, Grandma told me I'd be like John Lake. If I put my hand on you, God's going to give you whatever you need.
Yeah.
It was simple. And I was getting 100%. I was healing the sick, raising the dead, setting people free at 4, 5, and 6.
Does he get back up?
And people that...
It's like 10 minutes later. What's going on here? Oh, he kind of retched for him for a minute. That don't look good. Oh, no.
Hutards need to form their own party. No way, they are conservative.
I said the same thing, and thank you for that donation, 30 Cal Gal, $10 into the cult. I said the same thing in Scott's chat today. I said he gathered up as many Christian conservatives as he could find, and he drove them away from Christianity and conservatism. Like, yeah, it's something different now. Are we going to get that guy up, or? Oh, wow, we're still, oh, Jesus.
Down so that I'm healed, and then we change our
He's grabbing at his throat. He's choking. He's doing this.
In the new covenant, I believe.
Sha-na-na-na-na-na.
Keep it back there.
Oh, there he is.
From a miracle is a devil. Heaven switched.
To be fair, the one thing that stopped that guy from a miracle was you threw him to the ground. I mean, that could have been the devil, I guess.
All the switches in your favor. He's just never going to be the same. And I didn't do it. It wasn't my idea. It was my idea. It wouldn't work. It was like Jesus tapped my.
He's already getting some deniability. I didn't do it. It wasn't my idea. If it was my idea, it wouldn't have worked. What the fuck?
Laundry on me this week.
There you go. $40 into the cult laundry. I think last time she went, she spent more than that, but we did betting. The first time she went, she spent $42. So thank you for paying for the laundromat. I appreciate it. Thank you. That was from Bulldozer.
If he wants to do something wild, so be it.
Wow.
Now, if anybody's got any kind of pain, just come up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right, dude. If anybody's got any kind of pain, come up here. You just saw me throw this gentleman to the ground. That guy just come up there because he was thinking about praying about buying a new boat. He wasn't in no pain till you threw him to the ground. Now his back's broke.
Does your Bible say that Jesus past 10:30 took your...
Nobody got up. Nobody got up. Anyways, we got one more. Then we can grab this one. This is always a good one.
In the name of Jesus, touch my baby. Look, get your head down in your pocket, baby. Come on, lift him up. He didn't ever feel the Holy Ghost.
Get your hands out of your pocket, baby.
Use my baby, Holy Ghost. Sort of a thus saith the Holy Ghost through the voice of your earthly father. For it is not your earthly father that speaks, but it's your heavenly father that speaks. Though you hear the sound of your earthly father, it is me, saith God.
Jason Q is currently on live at High Vibes Up.
The God of the heavens and the earth, the God that created you and formed you in your mother's womb. My plan for you is great. I have gifted you, and I will give you platforms of success, and I will use you. I will display my wonders through you. You're mine. You're mine. You're mine. You'll always be mine. You're mine for my use, saith the Lord God Almighty. I lay hands on you, there's a restoration taking place right here. Hey, here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh Lord! Don't do it! Don't shove him down.
God has given to them that obey.
This is the church Mariah took me to that time on Mother's Day.
My God. Yes. Put your hands high.
There was definitely more snakes, but still, he slapped him in the nuts. What's a ba 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 ba?
That you've been trying to get free of, but couldn't free yourself from. For whom the Son sets free is free indeed. John 8:36. Anybody want to know what chains sound like falling here?
Wait just a second. Hold on just a second. This girl was just part of this. Look when she comes into the camera. Look how rattled she looks.
Free up, but couldn't free yourself from. For whom the Son
Look at her. She's like, I'm just glad he's not on me anymore.
Anybody want to know what chains sound
Oh, she's not feeling good about it.
Feeling Holy Ghost. Feeling Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Fill him. Fill him. Fill these young people, Holy Ghost, laying here in the Holy Ghost. Fill them. Fill them up. Fill them up. Fill them up. Fill them up. Come on over here. Come right.
I don't have anything wrong with church. I don't think that I believe these faith healers. I mean, they've been proven wrong and 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 wrong again. If anything, it's more of a placebo effect. Look how many people are already out. He went around knocking bitches out.
Yo, hold on. Hallelujah. I'm coming that way in a minute. Lift your hands.
This is the one we want to see. This is a kid. I mean, this boy might be, what do you think, 14, 15 maybe?
God, I see you counting this all over him. Psalms chapter 4 and verses 2 or verses 3. David said, God has separated the godly for himself. And when they shall call, he shall hear. All my life. Glory to God, God, while I couldn't fit in, hallelujah, with the crowd that was sinning.
I don't think that these people, so like these churches, of course, they take offering and stuff. It's not so much about the money they're making, it's more about the lie. But I think it's like a mass subconscious thing. Like you want your religion to be right, and you want your preacher to be right, and you want everything to be good. So like when you see other people flopping on the ground, you want to flop on the ground.
I try to participate, but I just never.
Did Joel ever answer in chat again? Are you all right, Joel? After I said something, I never even saw you type again. I hope you're feeling all right, buddy.
Never fit in. I always felt like a sore thumb that stuck out. I just always felt like I was alone. Like I was.
Oh, I'm sorry, Paula.
Because God showed me later on after he called me. He said, I separated you from the womb. That's why you can't fit in. That's why sometimes you can be in a crowd and you feel like the misfit. God said, I got my hand on you. Hey, I'm going to use you for my glory.
Don't worry, the Cookie Monster's got him.
God said you've been distracted for a while, but I'm removing distractions.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, stop it. No.
Hallelujah. Somebody give me glory.
That looked like she was going to flog you like a chicken. Did you see her flapping her arms? Looking like cousin it with her hair all done on her face? That was scary, dude. That was scary. These people aren't volunteering. He's picking them out. You're going down next, biggin. Oh, what the hell? Go back over there. Put you. Oh, won't do it now. Anyways, back to the video.
I trained you in my ways. I brought you up around my presence because I got things for you to do. I ain't got things for you to do when you become an older man. I got my touch on you now.
He is the Cookie Monster. I mean, she's kind of the Cookie Monster too, but he's actually got the shirt. I would be afraid that I wasn't paying enough attention and got distracted by a door or somebody's hands in their pocket or some PTSD stupid shit, and I was supposed to be the catcher. And I have no idea. Now he throws them through a wall or something, and I'd feel bad.
You still recording? Holy Ghost, touch my boy. Mine's recording. So now prophesy to you one day you're going to be holding a big camera. Come on, somebody.
The Holy Ghost touched my boy while I was praying. Son, I prophesize for you one day you're going to be holding a big camera.
God's training you for ministry. Yes, somebody tell you give God glory. Psalm chapter 9, verses 16 said, let your work appear unto your servant and your glory unto his children. Look at your neighbor and say if you'll do.
If you're into some church like this, I'm sorry, but if you can bring me some type of like you had a ruptured disc and he beat it out of you or some medical evidence, I'll stop playing these videos. This is every bit just as bad as probably not as bad. Well, yeah, I mean still on the hope scale and the people and stuff. I mean, this guy's obviously not a millionaire in America, but the African ones are millionaires where they live.
I'm preaching to somebody. You getting a second one in here. I'm breathing on some coals right now in you. There's a flame.
Yeah, Alibaba.
Hey, look at your neighbor and say, welcome to old fashioned. Lift your hands. Thank you, Holy Ghost.
He keeps telling people to take their hands out of their pocket.
That's where I feel something.
Reminds me of being in boot camp.
Oh, God, there's a special, unique anointing.
That's your Air Force gloves.
It's imperative.
The Army, I've never seen the Army gives you more pockets than you could possibly imagine. You got them on your sleeves, on the inside of your sleeves, on the inside of your legs, the bottom of your legs, top of your legs, on the sides, in the front, and you can't use none of them.
That we make sure we give him the glory for what he's doing. Come on, lift your hands all over the room. Mamas and daddies. God said because it's here.
We just get off on kicks. I don't know. This shit. Ooh. One time we watched toe fungus videos for like 2 hours. All right, we got some other things we need to cover right quick before we get much further. I can't remember what this one was. Oh, this dumb bitch. Thank you to Mike who sent this in. Well, he didn't send this in, but he sent something else that I'm fixing to pull up. So this is Madison Marquette, the former adult film star, now turned satanic abuse survivor. She's named everybody. And then when she starts losing up some popularity, she names everybody again or more people or anybody associated with QAnon. She's testified in over 100 tribunals. They were held in the White House, then they weren't held in the White House. Now she's a door kicker going around rescuing babies, but not really because she's not certified to do anything. But she's combat and gun trained, but then the police leave her sometimes, and then she just commits a felony by breaking and entering and false imprisonment. You know, she's the real deal. Well, her and the, you guys remember the Great British Bird? The Great British Bird decided that they were going to start raising money for hurricane damage, and they're gonna raise some money up, of course. And here's the post. Please help. This is Yank and Great British Bird. That's the page they share together. Please help in any way you can, either by sharing this post or donation to help Louisiana. Madison, Claire, and Mark are raising money for the people in Louisiana after the disaster of the hurricane that was harmed, that has harmed a lot of people and families and animals. It's pretty bad. And the news, for some reason, are not covering this to the extent of the devastation. I think they are. It was actually a lot better than what they predicted. Now, I'm not saying there aren't people in bad situations. There are. There are people in bad situations. My merch shop had some trees fall on it and shit, and lost power for probably a couple weeks. But it's not nearly as bad as they thought it was, and it's not very widespread. I know the military's down there. I know church groups are down there. I heard a guy talking about the other day, basically anything they need, you know, there's a center set up for it and you can go get it. But I know some places are probably worse off, but I don't think to the extent they're trying to say it is. Hurricane Ida is definitely worse than Katrina. You remember the one that, like, put all of New Orleans underwater for, like, 6 months? Hurricane Ida is definitely worse than Katrina. From what we are hearing from these brave ladies. Madison will go to Louisiana and meet up with two people, Katie and Tammy, who currently live in Louisiana and are seeing what the biggest needs are. All monies raised will go to the disaster that has happened in the great state of Louisiana, and receipts will be available for monies donated should you wish to see where your kind donations were spent. So I would love to believe that. I would love to believe that. I really would. The problem is, she also said that she was going to have receipts from law school. She also said that she was going to have receipts from the tribunals. She also said that she was going to have receipts from when she was traded. She also said that the only receipts we found are all the porno she's in. That's the only receipts we found so far. And it's a little too late to try to find the receipts after you've donated to someone you don't trust. Claire, Mark, and Madison recently interviewed Tammy and Katie after the girls reached out through Mark Byron. And these brave women describe just how bad things have become. There is a need for water, gas, and food now. If Madison can get one of the neighboring states, she can get what is needed for the communities and figure out how to get it in Louisiana. In the interview with Katie, Tammy, We'll also let you know how Joe Biden only went to New Orleans and has not done anything for the people who need it most in Louisiana. So we ask you all to help however you can. FEMA is extremely slow to offering any type of help. Please, and these people need a lot. Please stop giving the con artist pastors and con artist false prophets money when it doesn't go to helping the people. Well, that's what you guys are. If it's hard to give right now because we know times are tough, we ask that you share this link. So this is again Madison Marquette, the Great British Bird, very well known con artist. I would love to believe that this is where the money was going. I just don't. I mean, I don't. She's claimed to have receipts for all this stuff. She's lied, and I mean, it's just like some of you guys know what happened with the other guy we were talking about the other night and his cancer victim or whatever. We still have 99 News, but it's like a real short. It's just Ollie talking for a second because the camper's just too small. We can't switch in and out. They got a bedtime for school. When we get back in the house, we'll have the full show back and Game Train. But I just don't believe her. But that doesn't stop anybody else from donating to her, because if you go to their give, grow, send, pray, grow something website, whatever that is, give, send, go website, they raised $10,000 overnight, and since then it's risen up to $13,880. Madison is supposed to be taking the money down there herself, which is probably the one I trust least out of all of them. She's gonna go to Louisiana and meet up with some people. I just don't believe it. I know she'll probably go for the photo op, and I know we're probably paying for her trip and her hotel room and her stays and her meals and her travel and all that stuff. But man, I would love to see each and every receipt. It doesn't sound like a good idea. You guys, I've never ever trusted Madison Marquette. She's changed her stories thousands of times. She latches on to someone else's stories who are just suing for a different reason. They never claimed to be brutalized or beat up or any of that. Somehow she had a husband while she was also locked up in a porn mansion and made to eat, and sleep and porn. But she was also married and went on vacation to Greece with her husband while she was also being held a hostage. None of it makes any sense, and now she's out here taking money. Everybody knows when there's some type of natural disaster, that's when a lot of these people move in and try to raise money off of it. If you're going to give money to an individual to go do this, make sure it's somebody that can be trusted and trustworthy or something. Like, I wish we'd have thought of it. We'd have got some stuff and try to get it down there to somebody I know. But it's fine. I do know some soldiers that are down on the ground. I've seen some of the places where they're giving out water. They rolled a couple of the military laundry trailers in where they're like they are washers and dryers, in a tractor and trailer. And I have contact with Paul Davis. Yeah, Paul Davis is his name. He's running FEMA runs right now, so he's told me a little bit about the situation. It's not worse than Katrina, first of all. It may be for certain individuals that didn't get hit by Katrina last time. Katrina was horrible, like once in multiple lifetime storms, and it was that bad. It's not worse than that. I'm sure there are people suffering, but this would be the last person that I would trust to take my money anywhere, to be honest with you. So $13,000, we need to probably keep track and make sure it at least looks like she's spending it. If it's blatant and obvious that she's not, I guess that'd be a time to start calling somebody. Update on Earl. If you guys don't know who Earl is, there's a channel called High Vibes Up. It has Jason Q on it. It also has a mother-son team who claim that they can do. Well, hold on, let me see how they phrase this. I don't want to mess it up. It was very good phrasing. It was called. Where'd it go? They can do galactic surgery. So this is one of the posts. This is the mother-son team here that they made a post. It says, we've posted herbal recipes to heal joints, female issues. So if you guys get any female issues, I know they healed mine. how to handcraft medicine from herbs, also how to handcraft your own CBD oil, and recipe on how to order it. Intel, PDFs, vids, more, so you can point your loved ones here or her for truth and healing. Scheduled healers for galactic surgery. What the hell is galactic surgery, and how do I get it? Galactic surgery, quantum healing, code healing, and Akashic record reading. I can't even say it, much less want it. We did have Jay Reese, one of the guys who made some of our intro music or whatever. He one time got his code read and rewritten, and they said, "We're breaking your code and we're taking out some of the messed up digits. Now we're putting it back together." He was on the phone with them, like called into their show. Anyways, Earl is a guy that is handicapped. That is on their show. Let's see. I don't know if he's got a picture up or not. Let's see photos. He's This is him. This is Earl. He's handicapped. This show was, it seemed like a big part of his life, for sure. He's a big fan of Jason Q. Jason Q promised to get him a med bed to fix him after they got him all tore up to where he was in tears because he had taken the vaccine. And Jason Q said that him and Charlie Ward said the med beds would fix him, and they were going to talk to some generals and get him at the head of the line. Okay, so they treated him really shitty, and they said not only will that fix you with what you took, but it'll also fix you. You won't be like this anymore. Like it was really shitty the way they talked to this guy, especially with him being handicapped, disabled, or whatever you want to say. It wasn't good. And then now I guess the dollar bills got in the way of friendship, because it says he made this post on August 18th. "I am no longer a part of High Vibes Up," which is the show that they were all on. "They don't want me a part of the show. I feel I made a good contribution to the show when I was on and helped." People are saying, "How do you know?" I'm watching it now. I miss you being on the show. Will you be back? I don't know. Like, clearly I just don't think they told him enough. They should have at least said if he's coming back or not, or something. I don't know. I wish it was a longer run. Yes, it does suck. Man, that's rough. After the things you said about him and promised him and used him as your prop, then you're going to tell him he's no longer on the show. So that was an update I wanted to cover. I got some videos of crazy people to show, but before we get into that, because I know most people watch the first of the video, they never make it to the end, I want to go straight into something. Don Shipley. Oh, by the way, I started the bot. If you want to donate, that's how the bot's in the chat. I don't know if I said that earlier with the shower and everything going on. Don Shipley is a guy I have a lot of respect for. Okay, Don Shipley goes out and busts stolen valor people on the internet. He's a former SEAL. Seems like a good dude. I have a lot of respect for Don Shipley. There's people I don't have any respect for. Don Shipley, thanking for his service and the service he continues to offer, going out here and exposing people and finding records and doing this and searches. Well, one of his larger cases has been this guy that was named Bill Brockbrader, or William Brockbrader. And there has been a new development in this case. Now, this Bill Brockbrader, sometimes he goes by Bill Rose, sometimes he goes by Bill Wells, just a couple different names, aliases. He was moving up through the conspiracy, QAnon, secret soldier, all these different movements, and claiming that he was a SEAL, and he was on Special SEAL Team 9, and he was doing these crazy special missions. He was a child soldier. He was doing all this crazy stuff, okay? And Don Shipley called him out. And for 3 years, there's been like this back and forth, and you'll never... Bill Wood was one of his names, you're right. Carrie Cassidy. He's been on Carrie Cassidy's show a bunch. You'll never guess who come out of the nowhere just to support this dude's story. Anyways, this is the most recent story I could find on Bill. It says U.S. Marshals said Bill Brockbrader, also known as William Brockbrader or Bill Wood, has previously earned a living by fixing the small lasers on the end of laser hair removal equipment for businesses. He's a convicted sex offender. Literally, he was dishonorably discharged for being a convicted sex offender. He's a convicted sex offender who pretends to be a Navy SEAL and is wanted for failing to register and has a number of tattoos. Have you seen Bill Brockbrader? Call or text our hotline. Please remember you can remain anonymous. This is a picture of him, and it says Bill Brockbrader was supposed to be a United States veteran, a loving husband, and a doting father. He was supposed to protect, love, guide his family, but according to the U.S. Marshals, he's lived a lie more than living in the truth. The case began back in 1993 when Brockbrader's deception was finally revealed to his wife, Tana. The couple had been married a short time and had recently had their first child, a son, when Tana's 11-year-old sister, Jalen, flew to San Diego to help the couple with babysitting. At the time, Brockbrader was in the Navy, and Tana was doing a lot of the family's heavy lifting at home by herself. Jalen not only went out to California from Idaho to help out that summer, but for the next 3 years, she made the trip back to Brockbrader home. It wasn't until the summer after Jalen turned 15 when her father sat her down and began to talk to her about some of the depression he was noticing in his child. Jalen's father felt he noticed the biggest change in Jalen when she would return home after spending summers in San Diego. It was after one of those trips when he asked his daughter to write a letter to herself. Jalen took her father's advice and wrote a letter. This is when the truth was finally revealed about what was happening at her sister's home, and she spoke about the abuse she endured. Jalen had been targeted and sexually assaulted summer after summer by Bill Brockbrader. She confided in her father that the abuse began when she was only 10 years old, and it was a trip in Idaho. It was a trip Brockbrader took back to Idaho with Tana for her grandfather's funeral when he first targeted her. Spending the summers on the West Coast was more of an opportunity to have full access to Jalen. A lengthy investigation revealed the truth to everyone, including the military, and Brockbrader was dishonorably discharged and tried in a military court. Ultimately, in 1998, he was found guilty of three counts of sexual offense against a minor. Brockbrader was sentenced to 11 years in prison, but only served 3 years behind bars for good behavior. Upon his release, everyone would soon learn how detached from his crimes and arrogant Brockbrader really was. For a period of 2 years, U.S. Marshals and Brockbrader moved from various states and refused to register as a sex offender. Marshall said he was mainly bouncing from Utah and Las Vegas, Nevada. Authorities said Brockbrader was arrested twice for violating Adam Walsh Act. In 2012, he found himself in court again on trial. Brockbrader was found guilty and sentenced to another 30 months behind bars in Seattle, Washington. So he's not registering when he goes. While out both times from his prison sentences, Brockbrader spent a lot of his time on the internet creating videos where he attacks his victims, Jalen, and talks about how he was the victim and the target by the government. There are times when Brockbrader describes the sexual abuse as consensual, even though the abuse with Jalen began when she was only 10. During the show, the case on In Pursuit with John Walsh, host Callahan Walsh said Brockbrader had a new persona and that he created a new narrative about his naval record and his status as a registered sex offender, using the screed to erase his criminal history. Brockbrader claimed that he was part of an elite SEAL Team 9, which was another fabrication, especially because SEAL Team 9 does not exist. Retired Navy SEAL Don Shipley has been tracking Brockbrader for years, and he knew Brockbrader was lying about his military service and specifically about serving as a Navy SEAL. Shipley told Callahan Walsh he not only confronted Brockbrader online, but he also filed a civil lawsuit against him in 2012 for defamation. Shipley said he's using these claims specifically to cover up his sexual deviant past. Nothing that comes out of the guy's mouth is the truth. In one of the videos specifically, Brockbrader claims Jalen was one of the pursued him, and she was a liar. He specifically called her out in the video and threatened she was going to make a video of all the details. It was continuous abuse, even though he was able to attack her as a person and try to damage her credibility. Gilliland told Callahan Walsh that all of her childhood and innocence were taken away from me. So not only is this guy a piece of shit, not only is he stolen valor, not only was he dishonorably discharged, it was because he's a pedo guy. And then he goes on the internet, and this is what he does. It doesn't give the full context here. Yes, he was on the internet. Yes, he was claiming that he was set up by the government because he was claiming that he was a secret soldier. He was on SEAL Team 9. He was a child soldier, and he was a whistleblower on the U.S. government and the conspiracies and QAnon and Deep State and the cabal. He was a whistleblower. He was a whistleblower. And they sent this girl to come on to him to make him look bad. Okay? They sent this girl to come on to him to make him look bad so he couldn't be a whistleblower anymore. So he's moved up. He's been on Cassidy's show. He's been on a bunch of people's different shows. He's a piece of shit. Don Shipley's been exposing him for years. Don Shipley's worked on this, and then he got some very strange backup. And one thing I want to say is, it's not bad enough that he was stolen valor, there's a pedo guy, there's blah, blah, blah. This girl is now a young woman, okay? And she and her family found his videos on the internet being sponsored and promoted by some of these big conspiracy guys. Literally, that's how they knew he was talking shit. They found him on YouTube talking about her. All right, so let's check out Don Shipley's video right quick, where he calls him out. This is Don here. We'll start here. This is a live stream he did, and then we'll jump ahead some. I know exactly the part I want to go to, but I wanted him to give the backstory here.
Okay, all right, I see it. Look now. Okay, all right, that's enough of that. One button up here. YouTube has changed all this up, and I had this thing going. So can somebody give me a thumbs up, please? It's been a really long day around here.
By the way, if you ever need a Navy SEAL checked out and he's doing maybe stealing money or claiming it's shit don't adds up, Don's your guy. If it's real bad and obvious and this guy's like grifting, Don will just listen to you, pick it up. If it's something like you personally think it, but maybe Don doesn't think it, or it's not that big a deal, or it's not that public, then I think you can pay like a fee, and it's like the fee for like records or something to Don, and he'll do it.
But
I see you, Johnny. If you just chill out for a minute, I promise we'll talk about Jaco.
Okay, we're good. You know what it is? It's one button up here. YouTube changes. It says go live end stream. So I guess we're live. I am so sorry it's only 14 minutes late. But, yeah. Bad for me. Okay. I know. Just technical stuff here. New thing. So let me try this again, guys, because this is a really important night. I appreciate you hanging out.
That's right. Satan's little helper, 216.
Call this winter. From the producer of In Pursuit with John Walsh. You can't
there it is.
Bill Brockrader's name and not see mine come up. And that's why they contacted me. This
In Pursuit.
Of a match between me and him.
Which is good. I'm glad it's getting, national attention or whatever.
And I was really quite flattered by that. For anybody that doesn't know who John Walsh is, John Walsh's son, Adam, was kidnapped from a shopping mall in Florida and brutally murdered in 1981. And John became an advocate for children. Built a missing and exploited children's center in D.C., started America's Most Wanted. They've captured over 1,000 guys. And he started this new thing, In Pursuit. And they contacted.
By the way, some of the fringe conspiracy people have already started saying that In Pursuit is a cover-up. In Pursuit's this, In Pursuit's that, In Pursuit's Deep State, In Pursuit's Cabal.
And I traveled to Florida to be a part of that show. The show airs tonight. So a little technical difficulty here. But what I want to do is take you guys through how all this came to be. Familiarize people who don't know who Bill Brockrader really is or what he did to land on John Walsh's TV show. So
here we go.
Part of the TV show was several other people, including a U.S. Marshal that I become quite close with. I am the Bill Brockbrader library of everything. And I turned everything I had over to him, and he helped me. And
By the way, yeah, so he's going to tell you, but Don Shipley and the U.S. Marshals were kind of helping each other almost at one point, trying to find him and see what YouTube channels he had been on, see what this, see what that, where he's at, why he hasn't registered. Is he still talking shit? Is he still spreading rumors? Is the lawsuit still going on? Back and forth.
Mind melt where Bill could be. Bill, just for you guys to know exactly what I have here. Let me see if that is. That is the court-martial transcripts for Bill Brockbrader. And it is lengthy. And I have every single page of this. I know what he did. And it's what we've been saying all along. He's a child rapist. And I'm going to try to get her back on the phone. This is Bill Brockbrader's worst nightmare. I'm going to show you a video that Bill did a little bit later where he threatens this girl. Do you have time to talk?
I do, yeah. I was just catching up on your live stream here. So.
Oh, well, I didn't hit a button I was supposed to. So
John Walsh wasn't exposed. The only guy like that I know was exposed was Chris Hansen.
I'm glad you're here. I'm going to take people through and watch this show tonight. But this is Jana Lynn. And,
hi, everyone.
yeah, hi, everyone. And this is when Jana Lynn was 11 years old. And that's when it all happened. Correct?
Correct.
Now, we don't need to go all through any of this stuff because Jana Lynn and myself did 80 minutes worth of interviews that are up there. But I think she's just as excited tonight as I am to see this hopefully come to a conclusion, and me to take a few swings at some people, some conspiracy theorists that were out there that you were watching.
Yeah, he's not a big digital guy, like he just does this Zoom or whatever, but he's a big dude on all the pictures. He's got everything printed off, blah, blah, blah.
All these interviews and his rise to fame. Can you speak?
So he starts going further into the story. Tom Hanks is doing what a fucking millionaire playboy does. Tom Hanks. He bought a typewriter off my buddy out in Nashville about 6 months ago. Maybe not even that long ago.
So that Marshall is really you'll see him on there. I got to spend quite a bit of time with him in Florida while the show was being filmed. And he's quite some. Boy, he is on Bill. So the only time me and him had any kind of little things back and forth was where we thought Bill might have been, because Bill has a huge mouth, and Bill is a bad poker player. Bill can't tell any kind of story without lying about it, but Bill talks too much. He's got a big ego. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else, but he left more clues behind of his whereabouts, and I'll get into them. But Janet Lynn and I, on my video website, videos.extremesealexperience.com, you can search Don Shipley videos. We did over 80 minutes of video from the whole time.
Yes, if you want to know more about Don or about Bill, you can check out his website. He's got an awesome website. It's got everything from like what it's like to be a SEAL and experiences and different SEALs, famous SEALs, blah, 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 to all the exposed SEALs and this and that and everything going on there.
She was very candid about how all this came out, and Bill has told the story too, but he didn't tell it like she does, and it's not hard to believe who's telling the truth in that. And I was quite flattered as well that Jana Lynn would have said that afterwards. She knew I was out there. She knew I was out there doing it. I always wanted to reach out to her. I knew where she was, but I never did until we heard that when the show was concluded that she wants to talk to you. The rest is history. So how did we get to this point? How did all this come about? How all this came about was a YouTube channel called Project Camelot, a website on the internet with a YouTube channel called Project Camelot.
Project Camelot. That's part of our grifter series. That's Carrie Cassidy and her thing, and how she's married to a guy in prison that killed somebody or convinced someone else to kill somebody, his best friend, and he's a secret space traveler, and he was set up or with all this stupid shit.
And it's run by a gal named Carrie Cassidy, who has since been booted off of YouTube. Yeah, I know. Who's since been booted off of YouTube for coronavirus conspiracy stuff that she was posting. She's not a conspiracy theorist. Now, I don't have a problem with conspiracy theorists. I think they keep people in check, and the government, all that other stuff. If you can keep it in check with what you're doing and make sense of it, and just not automatically believe anything anybody tells you is a conspiracy theory. The thing about Carrie and her conspiracy theory channel and the work that she does is she doesn't even believe that crap. She just knows she can make money doing it with those videos. So she did a video called Inside Project Looking Glass, interview with an ex-Navy SEAL, and it was Bill Brockbrader. But he was going by the name Bill Wood. And somebody sent me that video. See, I don't find these guys. People send them to me. And I watched that thing. It was just the biggest load of just crap, fake lies.
Tom Hanks was given honorary. I mean, I guess you could say the conspiracy is he bought it. His whole family was given honorary Greek citizenship for bringing awareness to something they had going on there. The prime minister gave him like a little presentation. I think it was, did they have a bunch of fires over there or some shit? Wildfires or something? I can't remember.
And it all fell under that It's Classified. Bill was a It's Classified guy at this crazy team called Team 9. And it just went on and on.
Still Team 9, which doesn't exist.
And that's why I rely so much on you guys, and I will tonight. You guys are masters with keyboards. You're much better than I am at it. Let me note this down a little bit. But when that interview was being conducted, one of you guys noticed some writing. It was done in a shopping mall. One of you guys noticed some writing on the door of the shopping mall, and you knew exactly what store that was and where that mall was. And guess where it was? Right in Carrie Cassidy's backyard. And in the show, they are making this huge deal of these helicopters. Black Hawk helicopters that are circling Bill, trying to prevent him from releasing data that Bill had on Area 51. These Tomahawk missile strikes and SEAL Team 9. All that. Guess what? There's a big helicopter base, a civilian helicopter base right.
Yeah, so there were helicopters flying over, but I think they picked that location because they knew helicopters would be flying over. It's a big civilian. They have a training center like to train helicopter pilots. They have qualification courses for like onshore, offshore oil. It's all kinds of crazy shit they have there to train people, and they have tours. They have all kinds of stuff. It's a helicopter airport that specializes in it. And they were acting like he was at an undisclosed location and nobody could reveal it, but he was literally in the same town that Carrie Cassidy lives in. And also, anytime anybody brings up his service record, he'll start screaming it's classified, and if you start bringing up his criminal record, that's when he starts to say, oh, that was a setup because I'm a whistleblower. They don't want me telling you guys about the child soldier program and the On Venus program and the SEAL Team 9 and all the stuff we did, so they sent a temptress after me. But she was 10, dude. What kind of 10-year-old temptress are there?
Next to that mall. And we have all that. And Carrie was in on this whole thing. Carrie knows how to make a buck, and that's by getting you to believe some crap that she is peddling.
And he's been on all these grifter channels, all these conspiracy channels, all these QAnon channels, running around Navy SEAL whistleblower. Not even a SEAL.
Thing, I snagged it real quick off of YouTube. It was ridiculous, fake, phony, and I attacked it, man. I attacked that video with vigor. I didn't know that Carrie was involved in it, and she was going to do some other shows with Bill Brockbrader, and I wrote her a very flattering email telling her who I am and how I know that you're making a big mistake and this guy's just going to turn on you. He's going to make you look stupid. I had no idea she was really involved. I just thought she was gullible. Boy, was I wrong. She's in on it all right.
That's exactly right. She's not gullible. There have been people confront her, like the guy she's married to. I can't remember his name right now. I got a bad memory, but the guy she's married to that's in prison that convinced some kid in his cult to kill his best friend so they could rob him and shit. She's convinced that he was set up and blah, 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 and she's like pen pals with him and tells his story all the time, sells his book and all this stupid shit. People have tried to approach her about that and explain stuff to her, but she's part of it. She's not gullible. She's not dumb. It's not that she doesn't know the details. It's that this is her grift, and she knows. And she says, well, they'll believe me instead of you. Captain Mark Richards, thank you.
So this right now, because I'm turning this into a learning thing for people, this is where you start learning right here. Ready? I'm going to teach you something. The first lesson is believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. And that is the big thing that Carrie would put out there. She would use the It's Classified thing and above top secret clearances. That's what she was coming back at me. This is way above your security clearance. You'd be surprised, girl.
She tells Don Shipley, the guy who's known for fucking separating the SEALs from the non-SEALs, this is above your security clearance. By the way, whistleblowers whistleblowers don't go on YouTube channels. You go and seek your whistleblower protection, and whoever you decide to go to, whoever you trust, whoever you feel you can trust or whatever, puts in for your protection, but they also check out your story. They're going to make sure you're a SEAL. They're going to make sure you were here at these dates. They're going to make sure you had an opportunity to see what you should have seen. They're going to make sure of this and this and this. You don't have to go on the run and start going on Project Camelot TV.
But to prove my point, I'm going to keep the education thing going. If you got a pencil and piece of paper, I want you to write this down. I believe this was one of the first video interviews Carrie actually did. And when she did it, these morons that she interviews are the two biggest phony. One of them's dead. The other is still clinging out there after the beating that other people have given him. But it was an interview with Duncan O'Finian. That's not his real name. We know what his real name is. He never served, but that's neither here nor there. And another phony who's now dead named Dave Corso. Dave served in Vietnam, but he was in the Navy. He wasn't the top Marine sniper in Vietnam. And
the other guy was claiming that he was the top Marine sniper to ever be or to ever serve in Vietnam or some shit. Was giving out kill counts and talking about collecting ears on a necklace. And
the thing is available because Cassidy's YouTube channel has been deleted. The video is still available, but you got to search for it. It's called Black Ops Marine and the Ultimate Warrior PL. Black Ops Marine and the Ultimate Warrior PL. So when you search Black Ops Marine on YouTube and Ultimate Warrior, the first thing that's going to come up is a bunch of wrestling videos. But when you go down, this video was posted by a guy who snagged it, stole it from Gary, called Red Look, REDMULUC. REDMULUC. So for your education, after this is all over, between some, watch that video. I believe in that video that Carrie is buying all this stuff these guys are selling. This is kind of where she cuts her teeth into this, that she really thinks that these guys are probably telling.
It's an 8-year-old video, and what I like about Don is he's actually giving her the benefit of the doubt. He thinks that she's just being scammed. She doesn't know they're lying. She wasn't in the military. She can't see the signs. She can't tell what's going on. She doesn't know these guys. She doesn't know that they're full of shit or blah, blah, blah. So he tries to reach out to her and say, hey, you're being scammed. You don't want to get in with these guys. One of them's a pedo. The other guy never served. They're lying to you. And she tells him it's above his clearance.
The truth. But oh my gosh, those lies. Their facial expressions, their mannerisms. These two were they lived in the same town, I think, in Nevada. And they just got together and concocted this ridiculous story and took it. And the thing about what Carrie learned after that, because she figures this out as it being BS, but what she figures out is all I got to do is say it's classified and it's above your security clearance. It's top secret stuff and people will buy it. I don't have to provide any proof whatsoever when I do that. No proof.
Exactly right.
Just what comes out of their mouth, and people will believe it because I'm selling it. And there's this conspiracy theory group that believes anything anti-government about Area 51 and any of this stuff. So if anybody says it, it's instantly believed, and that's where Brock Brader.
This is Don Shipley.
With that crowd there that just believed him without any proof whatsoever, not a single shred of it. Black Ops Marine and the Ultimate Warrior PL. Was this part of your education? Now remember, you got it's classified. It's above your security clearance and classified. They're not going to say it doesn't matter or it's just you, whatever. And they call them whistleblowers because that gets your attention. Okay, there's an alien spacecraft depot deep under the ice in Antarctica, and some whistleblowers, some Navy SEAL whistleblowers, are going to get on here and talk about it.
Who does that sound like, though? Who does that sound like? Navy SEAL whistleblowers that know about space and secret space and aliens and Antarctica and time travel and all that shit. It sounds just like Jaco, right? Jaco had no problem promoting Phil on his show today, even though we know what happened to Phil, and people in his chat were calling him out for it, that this guy literally, as 28-year-old, corrupted a 15-year-old girl, took a plea deal for it, convicted. He had no problem putting him on. Let's see what he does with this guy.
Jan Lynn's texting. They're watching this right now. She's tough. Richards, Captain Mark Richards, is in jail for murder. But oh no, he is a Vietnam veteran that is a whistleblower. And no, he's not. The only proof he could provide was an award certificate of meritorious whatever it was, that he was in a boat unit in Vietnam and had his name on everything else. Somebody sent that to me. And all I did was go to warboats.com. It's the river patrol guys in Vietnam. And I found... So there's a lot of forgeries that are out there, and I'm a master at spotting fake DD-214. So just as they provided, we've seen a couple of them, they'll quickly flash up like they're...
So Captain Mark Richards never served in the military either. Don Shipley busted him when this all went down. But Mark Richards and Kerry Cassidy are together. Mark Richards had a cult, had a literal cult following him, and convinced a young boy, I think that was like 16 or 17, to kill his friend. He was literally the one standing. The boy, now a man, testifies that, Mark Richards was literally the one standing there saying, "Hit him with the bat, hit him again. He's still moving. Hit him again." Then Mark Richards claiming that he had nothing to do with it. He had nothing to do with this murder. That guy went crazy and killed that guy. Stole his friend's wallet and started spending money on his credit card.
DD-214, and then you got me in there, trying to zoom in on this thing. No, they forge him up all the time. That Mark Richard guy is just a terrible, disgraceful phony that we have no record of him ever serving. Not that much matters because he's classified and all that stuff. And the murder, them beating that guy with a baseball bat and stealing all his money, well, that's just because of his PTSD from all this stuff in Vietnam he had to do with MK Ultra or whatever the hell they're claiming right now. So the forgeries. The other thing I don't even know where I'm going now. I'm just kind of on.
Jaco is absolutely a real Navy SEAL. He served on a team, and he did train he was a trainer at Bud's.
Role, so I hope that we're getting some of this is making sense to people. I hope I'm not over talking it, but I have the points I want to make here to help you guys out on the internet and to try to snuff out some of the BS that they sell people. The other one is these panels of people. And when Bill Brockbrader was being re-interviewed by Kerry Cassidy, she had the whole crew on there. She had the whole crew of conspiracy theorists, the whole panel of everything. And the funny part is that they're not stupid. They tell the same story.
That was David Wilcock, too.
They do the same thing that Kerry does. So all of them know the other guy's full of shit, and he knows that I'm full of shit. They're all full of shit, and they all know. The only people that don't know are the gullible that buy into this stuff. And you pay the bills for them, man. You put food on their table from this. That's all they got. No proof whatsoever. None. Give me some proof. Why didn't anybody ever say that? Oh, they fall back. Oh, it's classified. That's like Bill Brockbrader. When I did the transcripts, and I'll get into this real quick, Bill made a big deal of me getting his transcripts from Idaho, where he confessed to never being a Navy SEAL and the age of the child that was involved.
So when he got transcripts from the court of when he confessed to what he did to the child, and he said she was 10 years old when we started, and I've actually not ever been a Navy SEAL, and that's audio and written transcripts.
And he turns that around and says, when I tried to get them, that they told him there were no records of me. Shipley manipulated those things, and he manipulated my trial. I called the clerk of courts in that county up there, forget what it was, and for $40. She asked me, do you want the written transcripts or the voice transcripts? And I said, well, both. And she said, it'll be $40. And they shipped them right after me. I think I downloaded the audio transcripts of it. Things are available out there. But
there we go. It's about to get good.
Got me a rotten deal going back to the Who Scout. And it's just everything he says like that. So I got much more on that guy. So I quickly turned up the heat on Brockbrader because Bill Brockbrader is not a stupid guy. He's not clever, but he's not dim-witted either. He's actually kind of smart when he can put his things to. What's smart about Bill Brockbrader is Bill Brockbrader can read and comprehend. And if Bill gets just a few minutes alone, because that's how he concocted this whole SEAL Team 9 thing, was sitting in a jail cell at Miramar, the brig, like this, staring at the ceiling. And he thought all this up. And at first, Bill had said this is a work of fiction. He was going to try to sell a book. Because when you're dishonorably discharged and you have to register as a sex offender, guess where you're going? Nowhere. You're not even delivering pizzas, man. Life gets tough on you. So you got.
That is true. To have to register as a sex offender and have a dishonorable discharge, Jesus.
I think of some creative thing to get out of all that and make a couple of bucks. And that's no excuse for any of that. So I ratchet up the beatings of Bill Brockbrader. I did numerous videos. Anytime he would come out with one, I would jump back on board and beat him up some more. So many of you guys helped me. You were constantly picking at him. I mean, we figured out his name wasn't Bill Wood in about 40 minutes when he first did that interview with Kerry Cassidy. It wasn't Bill Wood. Bill Wood has come from his ex-wife. Her name was Holly Wood. Holly, that's her name, Holly Wood. So Bill takes on Wood, and he's done this 20 other times before. It's Bill Moore for Ava Moore's wife. He uses all these aliases, but we figured that out. And yeah, you guys are lethal out there. You're so much better than I am, and I rely on so many guys with that. So when these beatings of Brock Brader were, really ran, this is exhausting stuff of trying to get this. It's disgraceful for SEAL Team. These horrible stories he was telling about SEALs and SEAL Team, and they were all just made up. And then he'd say that I was hired by the government to discredit him. The government wanted to discredit you. They didn't.
That's always their go-to.
Were really good.
Scott's saying that about me. Scott McKay is saying I'm either really negative energy or I'm a deep state agent.
Because people would go, well, that makes sense. And then I'd come back in and they go, well, that makes sense too. And we go back and forth. This went on for almost 3 years of me smacking him around. And, I'm not getting any younger. It's very aggravating. It's the heart, my blood pressure, everything else about it. And I tire of that. I tire of the games. And just when I had Bill Brockbrader on the ropes, ready to go.
Listen. This is the most important part. I'm going to slow it down some. If you don't take anything else away from this video, I want you to remember 2 things. Michael Jaco, knowing the charges, convictions, and the plea deal, he can't claim he was dumb because he probably knew before the show started, and even if he didn't, his chat told him while the show was going, had Phil Godlewski on. And when Don Shipley had Bill Brockbrader up against the ropes, about to finish him off as never being a Navy SEAL because he is a convicted pedo that was attacking and using a 10-year-old, he claims, came onto him as part of a government operation. A 10-year-old who stepped in.
Everything else about it, and I tire of that. I tire of the games. And just when I had Bill Brockbrader on the ropes, ready to go in for the final strike and end him, out of nowhere comes a retired Navy SEAL named Michael Jaco, who says, I remember Bill Brockbrader from SEAL training.
Out of nowhere comes a retired Navy SEAL named Michael Jaco, who says, oh yeah, I remember that guy from SEAL training. Now, Michael Jaco knows that SEAL Team 9 doesn't exist. Michael Jaco knows that none of this exists. Michael Jaco knows that they're not off-planet training. He knows he's not fucking been in a med bed. He knows he wasn't a child soldier. He knows he hasn't been reincarnated. That's his grift. But now, to enhance his grift, to catch a little bit of clout coming down off this guy, because this guy's moving up within the conspiracy world, to step in, to fucking put his neck out on the line to get a little more money, he stands up and said, oh yeah, same thing happens to me. I remember that guy. I remember that guy right there. I trained him, I think.
Oh boy, did Bill have a field day with that one. So I'm thinking, okay, Michael's just mistaken. Michael just thinks he doesn't know what he has just stepped into. He has no idea what any of this is about, but he's seen a picture of Bill Brockbrader and thinks he remembered him from SEAL.
Like you would remember someone, from 40 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever, like this. Look. Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. He was one of the 18,000 people I trained at Bud's. I remember him. I think his name's Bill or something. Okay. And you're enhancing your grift.
SEAL training. Well, I get Mike's number, SEAL to SEAL, and call him. And Mike's wife answers the phone. And Bill has turned this into a whole nother.
What's that tell you about a man? Jaco knew he fucked up when he did it. When he found out that Don Shipley, all the SEALs know Don Shipley. The SEAL community is really small. From people who actually get on teams and actually serve is really small. All the SEALs know Don Shipley. All the SEALs know Jaco. Jaco knew he fucked up with this guy, knowing he wasn't a SEAL and saying he was. He knew he was going to catch heat. Who answers the phone? Jaco's wife. She gotta put an end to this. Ollie, you want to say goodnight? Tablet down. Let me turn off. Hold on just a second. We'll get back to this cliffhanger, guys. It's Ollie with the night news. Let me turn that one down, and then we'll turn this one down, buddy. There we go. Talk to him.
Hi.
What's your name?
I not new.
What do you do for a living? Hey, listen. Today at school, did somebody laugh at you?
Somebody what at me?
They were being mean, weren't they?
Yeah, with a shirt. I know.
With an orange shirt. Why did he laugh at you?
Come on, pay for that. So much Sonic
underwears?
Yeah.
Because his pants fell down and they saw his Sonic underwear and they laughed at Ollie. That's mean.
Yeah.
But we're going to get you a belt, aren't we?
Yeah. What? Why the guy do?
Oh, that's a mad face. They're mad that somebody laughed at you.
Okay.
So you're mad too, aren't you?
I'm mad too, cause well, it don't my best friend. It don't be with me.
It was your best friend?
Yeah, he don't be mean now.
And now he's being mean. Orange shirt kid was your best friend and now he's being mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be better tomorrow. They won't even remember, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll get you a belt for your pants. Where are you going?
Give him a spanking.
My best friend, you know that.
Best friends
It's okay.
I don't come my head though.
Okay, well tell him. Tell him what you always say at the end. What do you say?
I will not know what you buy.
Hold on. Can you do one more thing? Listen. Humpty Dumpty.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Sit on wall.
Humpty Dumpty.
Hyundai fall.
A great fall.
I got a gay fall.
And all the.
Okay. For it.
And all the kings.
Okay. Met.
Couldn't.
Pull.
Humpty. What? They couldn't put Humpty what? Together again. Good job. Okay, have a good night. Love you.
Come here, looks like you're missing.
Love you. Love you, bye. Ollie with the 99 News. That's it. Alright. So we were in the middle of the Don Shipley, Michael Jaco thing. Let me turn on. I'm gonna start playing the video, but I'm gonna turn my filters back on so I'm not so loud.
Mess. And she was very evasive. She knew I was going to call. Michael had told her. He was probably standing right next to her. She got very evasive with me and got off the phone quickly. And I knew something bigger was going on. I called in the big.
Michael was probably standing right next to her when she answered the phone and said, "Dawn, I gotta go. Michael's not here. They got him with a heart attack gun, Dawn. I gotta get out of here. See you after a while."
Guns, the SEAL community, to get Michael to stop doing that and retract it. You know Bill wasn't in.
So he reached out to the rest of the SEAL community to say, hey, Michael needs to stop doing this. This guy was not a SEAL. He was dishonorably discharged. He's a pedo guy, starting with a 10-year-old all the way till she was freaking 14 for 4 years. And now he's slandering her online, saying she's a government operative while pretending to be a Navy SEAL.
She knew I was going to call. Michael had told her. He was probably standing right next to her. She got very evasive with me and got off the phone quickly. And I knew something bigger was going on. I called in the big guns, the SEAL community, to get Michael to stop doing that and retract it. You know Bill wasn't in any SEAL training class. He was never a SEAL. There was no SEAL Team 9. He's dishonorably discharged pedophile, Mike. And I even went so far as to call in Captain Larry Bailey, the commanding officer of BUDS, who wrote a letter about, no, there's no way. But Bill would go in and he would get Eric Prince's book and he would claim that his crew went.
The CO of Buds, the commanding officer of the Advanced SEAL Training School, had to write a letter saying there's no SEAL Team 9. Bill's never been here. We never trained this. This never happened. Now listen what his excuse is. There was a time when the SEALs class was moved somewhere else because there was an issue with the bay there in San Diego, and there was no swimming allowed. And that's when he claims they snuck in SEAL Team 9 and trained them.
Would go in and he would get Eric Prince's book and he would claim that his crew went through Hell Week while Eric Prince's Bud's class that was going through Hell Week was on San Clemente Island. And I don't want to get too far into this stuff, but Bud's training does not control the waters in San Diego. If there is a flood from Tijuana River that increases the bacteria levels, there's nobody getting in that water because the state of San Diego, California says you're not doing it. So they moved his Hell Week out to San Clemente Island, and Bill explains that it was the perfect time.
So, the guy whose book he's referencing, his Hell Week was actually, when he was in Buds, his Hell Week was actually moved because there was an issue with swimming in the bay. The bacterial level was too high from some river, flooded, blah, 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 whatever. But that's when Bill claims, oh, that's the reason you don't know when I went, because they snuck us in there. While the other Hell Week had to go to San Clemente Island.
Time to get him and his team of 9s through Bud's training, with Michael Jacko as their instructor. And this is where Bill doesn't know anything about SEAL training. Bud's is a small portion of
the complex.
The whole compound out there. Bud's is the advanced SEAL training. That's what I was. I was a Bud's instructor for advanced SEAL training. So there are all kinds of classes. It's a hub of activity. There's just some guys going through SEAL training out there, usually 3 classes at a time. They're everywhere, but all the SEAL teams are there. All these guys going through dive suit, jump master, static line. There's nothing, because Eric Prince's Bud's class was gone out of San Clemente. That was their opportunity to sneak through SEAL training. Yeah, okay, dude, whatever. And it took me a while. Now I'm going to show you these videos here. There is a YouTube channel you can write down. They're on my website, but it's Suzie Hoosie, S-U-Z-I-E, Hoosie, H-O-W-H-O-S-E-E, S-U-Z-I-E, W-H-O-S-E-E, Suzie Hoosie. And she claims that Bill Brockbrader mailed these series of videotapes to her. If you guys have seen them, the ones where he's in a tent hiding. And, oh boy, they're interesting. One, the ones that are there it's called Main 1, and you should watch Main 1, and you can help pick out some clues from that. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've been forced to watch them at least a dozen times. The next one is Trial Shipley 1, where he goes nuts about all the things that I've done to him in there. Oh, it's like Joe Biden blaming Trump. You know, it's just, oh my, it's all my fault. And then he's got one that says goodbyes. He's saying goodbye to his whole family that he is going underground. But in the Trial Shipley one, he gets to talking about Michael Jacko. And I had to listen to it a couple of times. But Bill says in there, this is the only thing you can believe about that he warned Michael Jacko, this was going to go bad for you, man. If you do this, they're going to come after you. And I went. He'd been involved with Bill the whole time. I verify Michael Jacko as being a SEAL at least 3 times a week.
All right, so what he just said is he gets a request at least 3 times a week to verify Michael Jacko, okay? At least 3 times a week. People are like, is this guy really a SEAL? Like, we know you're the SEAL guy. Is this guy really a SEAL? And he does. He knows Michael Jacko's a SEAL. But since Bill says, you know, I told Michael Jacko if he stands up for him, if he does this, they're going to come after him, and they did. So Michael Jacko knew from the start, before he ever said, I remember this guy, that it was a lie. That it was a lie. Had a hiccup. From the beginning. So he's going to protect Phil today, but Michael Jacko's been doing this for years.
And I never thought that Michael had been in there, but he saw Bill Brock, because that's what Michael does. Michael is a rising star in this conspiracy theory world of MK Ultra being a child soldier, that he's trained on Venus, he's trained on Mars, he's trained to walk through walls. Some really strange stuff. But he saw Bill going into orbit of really doing what he wanted to do, and he grabbed those coattails. He didn't care. I'm going to grab those coattails and I'm going to ride with you. In fact, I'm going to defend you. I know you're a dishonorably discharged pedophile, but I'm going to tell him that I put you through SEAL training and undo 3 years of the work Shipley has done. And not to mention, that right there.
That was a picture of what the girl looked like at 10 years old. That was the girl that Bill was assaulting at 10 years old. That's what that 10-year-old child looked like. She's still alive. She's a woman, a full-grown woman now. But that's what a 10-year-old child looked like when Carrie Cassidy and Michael Jaco were defending Bill Brader long before he defended pedophile. They were defending Bill Brock Brader and a relationship he had with a 10-year-old child that he admitted guilt to.
That right there. I'm getting flipping dry mouth from all this right now. But he talks a lot about it in there. He refers to Michael Jack. Bill Brockbrader refers to Michael's wife as a stone-cold fox.
Clearly they were close.
And so another SEAL to do this to me, and the hardest work that I was doing to uphold the honor and integrity of SEAL team, all the guys that have been killed, these Marine soldier, the gals and the sailor that were just killed, that's their honor too. That is being tarnished by a guy like that. And anyone that defended them, him. So,
by the way, you think something like this would reach the people who follow Michael Jaco, and they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I was in their chat today trying to explain to them what was going on, who Phil was, what Jaco was doing by endorsing him, giving him some credibility, having him on his show, saying, "Oh, this is Patriot Phil." And obviously, he must have a pretty good system and setup to be able to, because when I did this special dark web stuff when I was a SEAL, we had to be connected to a government computer, like high end, and it was connected to a satellite dish, and it was one satellite dish to the other satellite dish, so you had a secure connection. This guy must have some pretty big hardware at his house to be able to do this dark web stuff. Patriot Phil apparently was deemed worthy to be on a call with Donald Trump. The whole fucking thing's a lie. But you're not worried about hashtag save the kids. You're not worried about hashtag make America great again. You're not worried about hashtag Joe Biden's got to go. You're worried about hashtag Michael Jaco, 1 million subscribers. And you're a piece of shit. You may have been a good guy at one time. You look like you have an honorable service record. You look like you did a good job when you were as a Navy SEAL. Now you're a piece of shit. And you've been a piece of shit for at least this long.
I would say that is kind of the last thing about this no proof required. Because Michael, in his videos, and you can watch it, he's a very popular guy. He seems to be doing very well on YouTube with the conspiracy theory thing of being able to tell people he doesn't show any proof. That he's been to Venus, he's been to Mars, he's an MK Ultra child soldier and all that stuff, and he can walk through walls. Well, Mike, I know you're a little bit older now, and maybe walking through walls isn't going to cut it, but why don't you just put your finger through a wall? Can you just put your finger through a door and just show everybody as some kind of proof that you can do that? Don't you have a picture of you on Mars or something? Other than this, other than defending a guy like Bill Brockbrader. Horrible, man. Horrible. And then Bill goes into me threatening his wife. I don't threaten people like that. And I certainly would not threaten your wife. I didn't even threaten Dan Bernas's wife after all he did when he did it to me. I don't do that. But that just makes for some good headlines in another attempt to discredit Don Shipley and all the hard work that he's doing. And you can see 10 years of this coming out on me because I ain't real happy about the whole shooting match. I think everybody that's out there, from all these guys, all the Wilcoxes, all the Jackos, all the Cassidys, you should be ashamed of what you did to that little girl and made her watch you as a more mature woman now. When her family, Bill Brockbreeder's son, because they're...
That's her as an adult.
Not with Bill. Said, hey, you got to see what's going on the internet. And what Bill, here's Bill. How screwed up is that? To get on the internet one day and go, oh my God, it's him. And he's being interviewed. He's claiming to be a SEAL. He's getting celebrity. He's getting mileage. He's the toast of the town. Everybody loves Bill. You know how that made her feel to see that? But there was one guy out there that wasn't putting up with that crap. So we'll get to that. Again, I had so much help over the years.
So I can drop the link to this Telegram if you want it, if you want this clip or this video or watch the end of it. Bill's a piece of shit. Pedophil's a piece of shit. Jaco's a piece of shit for giving these people credibility. And Don Shipley's the man. Thank you for all that, Don. I'll drop the link to your channel and stuff. I don't want to. I didn't just rip off your whole video, but thank you for what you do, man. I appreciate it, and hope you don't mind me using a part of your clip. But Jaco's in our wheelhouse, and I appreciate you saying something and calling it like it is. I do have this one video. I don't know if we'll be able to skim through it and find what we're looking for, but this is the one where he talks about Jaco in it. This is the actual Bill guy, right? This is the pedobill. It's got a transcript, maybe. Yeah. Let's do this. Control F. Yeah, so Michael Jacko. Let's see if we can see what he says here. I'm going to back up to about 45 minutes. It's not to 46 and a half, but here, we'll start right here.
And I stated that in my first video too. It was a tongue-in-cheek goof. That there was these people whose primary job was to control cruise missiles, and, you know, our moniker designation was the Nines. Not SEAL Team 9, Nines. Was it a goof that, you know, there's this obvious gap between 8 and 10? Yeah, that's what it was. So technically, everything Shipley's saying is technically the truth. But here's where he loses, is he has no direct knowledge of any training that I've had. None whatsoever. But when you talk, everybody remembers, right after my video, a real Navy SEAL. There was an instructor, a BUDS instructor, during the time that I did my training.
Wait, I want to back up just a little bit.
And said, hey, I think
I want to back up 2 more minutes. I want to see what he's saying about SEAL Team 9. He's a liar. I don't want you to believe in this. He's a piece of shit.
I did lie. And I did tell the same lie that I told at my court-martial that I did at my pre-sentence release hearing. Everybody understands that when somebody is blackmailing you into saying something that they want you to say, you don't hold responsible a captured BOW who is forced to, you know, say bad things about his country. So why should it be any different for me? Well, you know, that's the problem with what Don Shipley's doing. Because when he states that he knows I wasn't a Navy SEAL, okay, there's 2 things about that. One, he is technically correct. Having the exact same training as somebody that is a Navy SEAL doesn't make you a Navy SEAL. And
so that's automatically a lie. He's never been through BUDS, which is the Advanced SEAL Training. He's never been to any advanced warfare training. He's never been to that complex. He's never set foot there. He's never had any of that training. Okay? Was he in the Navy? Yes. Dishonorably discharged. He wasn't combat. He hasn't had that training. None of it. So you can't say, oh, I've had the training, so I'm not technically a SEAL, but I just trained with him. That's a completely different argument, okay? That's like there are people that go to Ranger school, but they don't get put with the 75th, so they don't have Ranger scroll, right? So are they really a Ranger? Well, they passed Ranger school, but they didn't serve in the Ranger regiment. But those people actually went to the training. They just didn't say they did, but there's no proof whatsoever that they've ever been. Those people went, they passed, they got their fucking certificate. They just didn't get sent with the Ranger regiment.
And I kind of explained that in my first video. Yes, I had the same training as Navy SEALs, but I was never a Navy SEAL. I was never designated a SEAL. The training was part of a special mission that kept us safe and made it so we could do our job, clearly. The other thing that he unequivocally states is that there was never a SEAL Team 9. That is also technically true. As true as when SEAL Team 6 came into existence after the Osama bin Laden raid, before that, and technically still now, is Dev Group 1. Development Group 1. There is no SEAL Team 6. There is no SEAL Team 9. And I stated that in my first video too. It was a tongue-in-cheek goof. That there was these people whose primary job was to control cruise missiles, and, you know, our moniker designation was the Nines. Not SEAL Team 9, Nines. Was it a goof that, you know, there's this obvious gap between 8 and 10? Yeah, but that's what it was. So technically, everything Shipley's saying is technically the truth. But here's where...
Everything he's saying is the truth. Shipley doesn't mess up. Everything he's saying is the truth. Everything you're saying is a lie.
He loses is he has...
Here's where he's got his back up.
Direct knowledge of any training that I've had. None whatsoever.
So what he's changed his story to, even though the Kerry Cassidy video he's in, it says Special Forces, blah, 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 SEAL Team, whistleblower, and he says I was on SEAL Team 9, even though he made these claims, his story has to evolve to keep down Don's truth. So now he's claiming like, well, technically there's not a SEAL Team 9. We were this special military force that they trained just like SEALs, and we weren't a SEAL team, but they called us the Nines as a joke. They called us the Nines as a joke. So when I said SEAL Team 9, I just meant this joke that was going on that they called us. He still can't do away the 10-year-old he slept with for 4 years.
But when you talk, everybody remembers, right after my video, a real Navy SEAL, there was an instructor, a BUDS instructor, during the time that I did my training, came out and said, hey, I think I remember this guy.
That's right.
And
how she's a lawyer.
Stuck to his guns for a little while. And, you know, we were talking. And, you know, before he ever came out publicly, I told him, you know, you don't want any part of what I'm doing. They are going to crucify you. You shouldn't get involved. And he says, I want to get involved. So Michael Jacko posts on his Facebook.
I want that fame. I want the subs. I want the attention that you're getting. I want to get involved. That's what Jacko told him. Because again, Jacko doesn't care about anything else except selling his fucking course that shows you how to astral project for $2,000 and fucking his subscriber count, more people who might buy his course.
This guy's for real. He got obliterated. Don Shipley, he himself called Jacko's wife, Tracy Joe, and threatened her directly.
Of course.
When you threaten a man's family, his safety, his job, he's going to tell you what he has to tell you to get you off his back. And it seems interesting that Don Shipley, the fake Navy SEAL finder-outer guy, when he gets any information that corroborates what somebody's saying, he obliterates it. He goes after it, he attacks it, he destroys it. So I think it's very interesting.
That's how you do it. So if I came on here one day and said, you know what, guys, the sky's blue. And I was like, the sky's blue, here's proof, here's a picture, here's this, here's that. The sky's blue. And then someone else made a video and said, look at this dumbass thing, the sky's blue, here's a picture, the sky's green. I wouldn't be like, oh, well, I guess we're at odds here. Clearly, the sky's two different colors. I would say that. I would try to figure out if that picture's faked or photoshopped, or the guy's lying, or who he is, or where he got the picture. Where was the picture taken? Can I go there and see a green sky? Can I go there and take a picture? Can I do this? Can I... Wait, anytime he gets some information that corroborates a guy's story, he goes out and tries to destroy it. He goes out and starts asking questions like he don't believe it. It's weird. He found out I wasn't a Navy SEAL, and then one person said I was, who was clout chasing, and then he wants to be like, why did this guy say that? I don't even believe it. Funny, huh? No, that's that's how you do research, my man.
Corroborates what somebody's saying, he obliterates it. He goes after it, he attacks it, he destroys it. So I think it's very interesting that Don Shipley can be out there being the fake Navy SEAL prover guy and eliminate any evidence to what really happened.
That's not evidence. When a statement's presented and somebody can say, well, that's not true, you weren't here these days, the school wasn't open that days, you think that you snuck into Buds because one Bud class was out on the island. But that's a whole compound where they do like diving training, they do the other side of the SEALs training, they do static line jumps, they get you qualified for static line, the Army's airborne school. They do all kinds of training there. There would have been literally thousands of people on that base. And you said you snuck in because one Bud's class was missing, but there was 2 other rotations there, plus all these other people. So he's like, well, clearly you couldn't have done that, and clearly you couldn't have done this, and here is literally the guy who's the commanding officer there, who was the commanding officer when you went through, and he can check the files, and you've never been through that. You've never been on this post. I can't believe he just destroys all my evidence.
Now, interestingly enough, there's a second person that has direct knowledge of what was going on during that time. And that other person that I have very much talked about was Eric Prince, CEO of Blackwater. You know, everybody knows. Everybody knows that I am not a fan of Eric Prince. I condemn him on every level for what he's done. But
he does not corroborate your story.
He wrote a book. And in that book, he doesn't really talk about his training too much. Not a lot of details. But he gives a very interesting detail that, in context, doesn't make a lot of sense. He states unequivocally that when he went through Hell Week, his class did Hell Week on San Clemente Island, not where they usually do Hell Week on the Strand. And the reason...
Because the bay area that they use for Hell Week, when they got the logs and they do the swim and the nighttime fucking freeze out and all their fucking shit, was closed. Literally no one could be in there because of flesh-eating bacteria. And there were still 2 cycles of SEALs at Buds, the advanced training, that were still training there because they weren't in Hell Week. They could do something else without using the bay. Only his cycle, because there's 3 cycles at a time running, usually, only his cycle went to the island. Not to mention that is a very small portion of that entire complex, and everybody was still coming to work. You didn't sneak in and sneak out. There was still guards. There was still this other school and this school and dive school and this school and that. Everybody was still there working. They just took a field trip with 4 instructors and 40 fucking people.
That he
probably more than that.
Bacteria levels in the water were too high. Now, I don't know why Eric Prince brought this up, but I think it's significant to show people that while Class 188 was doing Hell Week over on San Clemente Island, the Strand was deserted.
Nope.
And could have very easily have been used by a single boat crew with a single instructor.
Nope.
And again, not directly corroborating, but something that, makes you scratch your head and go, that's weird.
But it doesn't. That happens semi-often.
Third thing that has come out since is Jeremy Scahill. He wrote a book called Dirty Wars. And in the very beginning, he's talking with the SOCOM commander, Special Operations Commander. And I remember a quote that this commander gives to Scahill. And, when I read it, I was like, holy crap. Now, I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't have my reference material, but basically what he said is, how cool it was that you could fly in for 10 miles away, go down the chimney, and disappear like ghosts. The other thing that he said is that in the 90s, the way to deal with things was with cruise missiles. They didn't want boots on the ground. They didn't want Navy SEALs. They wanted to use cruise missiles. Well, nobody would understand what he said better than me. Flying in from 10 miles away. 2 very easy way to do it. A hey-ho jump, high altitude, high open. Or what, I personally more enjoyed was a wingsuit. And we could fly 10 miles. Free fall. Going down the chimney. That's kind of an obscure statement. We ain't Santa Claus. So what was he trying to say with that? Well, what I can tell you is that going down the chimney, or putting it down the chimney...
Wait.
One way...
Did he say going down a chimney or violating the lady chimney of a 10-year-old girl as a grown-ass man and her stepdad?
Well, what I can tell you is that going down the chimney...
It was just going down the chimney. Sorry.
...was one way of using a Tomahawk missile to attack a target. And what you would do is you would overfly the target and mark it. And then you would execute something close to an Emmelman turn. You would bank up and over, and as you were coming straight down at the target, straight down at the roof, you line it up, and you drive that missile straight through the roof to the ground floor, and it detonates and blows up the building with the least amount of collateral damage. That was one way that became doctrine. And it was called putting it down the chimney. The other one is one that everybody's familiar with. That was the Pentagon attack, where you overfly the target, but you want to hit a certain place on the side of the building. So you overfly the target, do a descending, decreasing radius turn, and line up and hit the target exactly where
he talks about him again. Let's check it out.
I think that people that have done their research know that the lawn where the Pentagon was hit had a significant mark on it. And that lawn was cleaned up right after the attack was over. So, very, very interesting things that, people should need to know before they denounce me as the lying pedophile. The last thing that SOCOM commander said was disappear like ghosts. And that is also significant because some of the special training that we had was to become quote-unquote ghost walkers. Somebody that can come in and leave and never be found out, never have a trace of their existence.
Ghost Walker School.
Critical to our mission. That nobody knows that we're sneaking in, delivering a cruise missile, and getting out without anybody ever knowing or finding us. So I think all of those things are significant. You couple that...
I don't understand. You know how far a fucking cruise missile can be flown from? What the hell were you doing? What do you mean deliver? Would you show up in a fucking UPS truck and drop it off? What are you talking about, dude?
With the research that Jeremy Scahill did in his book, you read about the way drones are used and the just disgusting ways that they do it. He comes to a climax of a 16-year-old American boy in Yemen was killed in a drone attack because of who his father was. And the military plays it off as we didn't mean to kill him, we were trying to kill this guy. But, it doesn't matter. They're having the same problems now with drones that I was having back then with cruise missiles. And these are the things that nobody wants anybody to find out, because my story fills in the blanks and gives people the information that they don't want anybody to have. So I understand why Don Shipley does the things that he does. It's his job. Quite literally, it's
about a minute. He's gonna mention Jaco again.
Knows the truth or doesn't know the truth, he is telling the story that the military wants everybody to hear, and I accept that. But what I don't accept is how he can justify what he does while crucifying me for hurting a child. Because I don't know if Don Shipley is aware that what he is doing is causing significant harm that he does not think about, that he puts out of his mind. And,
what are you talking about?
I'll say this unequivocally. Are
you going to say someone calling you a liar for lying is equivalent to you molesting a 10-year-old for 4 years when she visited every summer, starting on a trip to her grandfather's funeral? Even Stevens? Is that what we're doing?
Get why he does the whole, go after fake Navy SEALs. But he doesn't just go after fake Navy SEALs. He goes after real Navy SEALs that say something that he doesn't like. And he is more than willing to crucify a real Navy SEAL just as fast as he is to crucify a fake Navy SEAL.
So that's not actually true. What he's talking about is like Michael Jaco. He's calling out Michael Jaco. And listen, Don Shipley said, I verify Michael Jaco as a real Navy SEAL at least 3 times a week. I don't know what he was thinking. I thought he was mistaken. I thought he was this. He had his wife answer the phone. And now, judging by this statement right here, it sounds like he knew from the beginning. He never went after his service. He never went after the truthful stuff he said. He went after the lies he's telling to support this pedo guy.
And we know this. Michael Jaco knows this. His wife knows this. Every SEAL member knows this. But that breaks the code. Don Shipley knows that you do not do those things to a brother, to a fellow SEAL team member. But he did it.
That's not true. You hold your brothers and your SEAL team members. You're there for their support. You're there when they need you for life. But you hold them to the same honor and integrity and truthfulness that you upheld from day one. The same reason that Michael Jaco literally has team members still watching him.
He went after Tracy Jo. He verbally threatened her. He made a video that paints Michael Jaco and I as having a homosexual love affair, which I just need to say, Don Shipley.
I haven't seen that one.
You look at Michael Jaco and his wife Tracy Jo.
That's not true.
Tracy Jo, stone cold fox. You look at me, my wife Eva, my ex Holly, and a lot of stuff that I had on my Facebook.
Yes, I found all the news stories and stuff. I haven't went for the court stuff yet. I mean, I'm sure I could, but one of the news stories is Garden Valley man sentenced to 30 months in prison for failing to register as a sex offender. This is after. This is the second time he went to jail. He was convicted by federal grand jury in Boise on December 5th, 2012. Following a 3-day trial, the jury heard evidence. Brock Rader was convicted in 1998 of 3 sexual offenses of a minor. He was serving in the United States Navy when he committed these offenses. After serving 3 years in prison, Brock Rader was paroled in Utah in 2001. So his original conviction was in 1998. He was reconvicted for failure to register in 2012 while jumping between Utah and Nevada, and Las Vegas, Nevada. It was determined without beyond reasonable doubt that he was a sex offender. He failed to register. Brock Rader completed his registration under protest while he was in jail and was released. He left Nevada in early 2012 and moved to Garden Valley. Brock Rader was non-compliant with the Nevada registration requirements at the time he left the state, and he failed to notify Nevada or Utah authorities that he had moved to Idaho. Brock Rader subsequently failed to register as a sex offender in Idaho. United States Marshals arrested him on May 15, 2012. The case was investigated by the Sex Offender Watch Task Force in southern Idaho and the United States Marshals Service with assistance from the Nevada Department of Public Safety, Nevada Attorney General Office, and the Utah Sex Offender Registry. The case was brought up as Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative launched in May 2006 by the Department of Justice. So this is his second. This is a story from his second conviction that mentions his first conviction. But if I just do this, Brock Rader. See if we can get his original conviction. On April 21st, 1998, I think I got it. Yeah. United States District Court for the District of, let's see. Let's do this. Superseding indictment at 2 docket 3 on April 21st, 1998. Military judge sentenced Brock Rader to dishonorable discharge, confinement for 11 years, forfeiture of all pay and allowances, and reduction of pay grade. General Court Martial number 18-98 at 1EX. A motion to dismiss on statutory grounds. Docket 61-2. The confinement and forfeiture were suspended to allow Mr. Brock Rader to participate in a sexual abuse therapy program. ID. Brock Rader was released from custody in June 2001. So yeah, there's a military record. He was sentenced to 11 years. He didn't serve all that, obviously. He served 3, but he was sentenced to 11 years when he came up out of the military. There we go.
When Don Shipley found me out,
the guy's name is Bill Brock Brader. It's his last name is B-R-O-C-K, Brock, and then B-R-A-D-E-R, all one word. B-R-A-D-E-R, Brock Brader.
Is pretty significant proof that we're, doing okay in the heterosexual community. But what I find very interesting is that he's making this video sitting next to a dude is pretty significant proof when he's having a homosexual love affair, which I just need to say, Don Shipley, you look at Michael Jacko and his wife Tracy Joe, stone cold fox.
You look at me and my 14-year-old bride.
My wife Eva, my ex Holly, and a lot of stuff that I had on my Facebook when Don Shipley found me out is pretty significant proof.
So his biggest complaint is that Don alluded to that they may be lovers, and he has a sexy wife, a sexy ex-wife, and a pretty sexy 14-year-old he knows from back in the day.
That we're, doing okay in the heterosexual community. But what I find very interesting is that he's making this video sitting next to a dude on a Friday night talking about how gay I am and how gay Michael Jacko is. Well,
isn't that what you're doing now?
If you know me and you know who I am, you know that my second oldest son is homosexual. And beyond homosexual, he's really, really homosexual. He dresses up as a girl, 50s pinup model, And I couldn't be prouder of him. I
Maybe it had something to do with your stepfather technique.
love him for being himself.
This is a weird video, dude.
Not.
So, these videos were released to a channel called Susie Woozy. It was the one that Don Shipley mentioned. She claims that she was sent these videos from Brock Brader. The first one is called Don Shipley and the Trial. He's talking about how Don Shipley got him, or Trial Shipley won, I'm sorry. Trial Shipley won. Actually, that's the second one. What was the first? The first one is called The Main One, where he talks about how he had to go out into the wilderness. He's living in a tent. The government's after him, blah, blah, blah. The second one's called Trial Shipley 1, where he basically talks about how he's been wronged by Don Shipley. And then the last one is him telling all his family goodbye and he'll never see them again. He loved them and blah, blah, blah. But nothing ever happens after that.
Go well with homo bashing. Because my son's homosexual. So when Don Shipley, tries to beat somebody up over being homosexual, while he's spending Friday night with his boyfriend making a video, a boy, that's a friend. How can you sit there and say, I'm gay, or Michael Jacko's gay, when, seriously...
Is this not just the opposite of what you're alleging he did?
I always thought it was really funny. I think, when I first saw the video, I was like, you two should just make out and get it over with. Because...
You're literally... The accusation that you're making, which I don't think it went nowhere near that far, you're literally making fun of doing the exact same thing of what you're accusing him of doing. Why don't you just make out and get it over with?
When you got to spend that much time and that much energy bashing a fellow brother, a Navy SEAL, that there is no dispute that that's what he is, for saying that he thinks that he might remember me.
It wasn't a might.
Obviously, Don Shipley is a secret keeper, and they use him to keep the secrets of the special operations world. And
at least he's not a child taker.
He's very good at it, and that's what he does. And that's fine. But I think people really need to pay attention that Don Shipley is just an attack dog. He doesn't have first-hand knowledge. The first-hand knowledge in my case actually kind of leans towards I'm saying something that's real. But in the end, it's all good. Because in the end, what really was going on, what I was really trying to accomplish, my operation was using Don Shipley as an asset to consume as much of the intelligence, assets, and resources as I could to get them focused on me, so they couldn't focus anywhere else. And understand that worked 10 times better than anybody could have ever imagined. Don Shipley got worked. And, I'm okay with that. What he did helped what I was doing, my operation, out immensely. I mean, couldn't have gone better. And so, I think what everybody needs to understand is what was really going on was me working Don Shipley to get what I wanted out of him. Now, I'm going to end this little segment of the video by saying, gentlemen, I need you to understand something. I am doing this for the greater good. We have some serious problems in the world that nobody's dealing with, but me and my people. And us doing a good job means that your children and your grandchildren aren't going to have to deal with the mess that things are. Because currently, what's being left to the children and grandchildren of America right now is $18+ trillion of debt and a corporation system that controls government and turns us all into debt slaves. And I need you to understand that this is what I'm...
God, I hate this guy. All right, back to our other favorite pedophile. This was his post. someone called his silver pyramid a pyramid scheme, and he said, actually, no, PSI isn't a pyramid at all. It's definitely multi-level marketing, but nothing about PSI is a pyramid, not the way I have it structured anyway. It's more like a massive flowchart, independently operating arms of the main structure. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about file, new canvas. Okay. If we have multi-level marketing, so we've got, this is a fit. Oh, I need a paintbrush. That ain't going to show up well. Let's grab a paintbrush here. Let's get to the bottom of this, okay, guys? Not 225. That's way too big. Not 30. It's still too big. Alright, if we have multi-levels, so we've got fill at the top, and then we have a level. He said it's multi-level, so there's got to be levels. Level, 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 and level down at the bottom. And we'll grab a different color. And then, so fills this dot. Oh, I need to swap those colors. Boop. Fills this dot. And then he's going to have multiple arms. Actually, I was reading through his scam that you have to have at least 2 arms presenting enough points for him to collect on his points. So he has multiple arms, and those lead to dots and dots. Well, if these two people want to collect on their structure, they've got to have a minimum of 2 arms, which leads to these dots and these dots. And then, of course, these people are going to want to make money on their level, so they got to have at least 2 arms. You have to have a right and a left arm for this company. Select 7 Select. I'll look it up in just a second. I was reading about it today. So they got their people. And then if these people want to collect on their money, they've got to have 2 arms. Of course, everybody's going to have a left and a right arm, and both arms have to meet the minimum point structure. So they got their people below them. I just want to congratulate Phil on making sure that there was no case whatsoever that anybody could ever think that this was a pyramid. What kind of fucked up people think pyramid shapes are pyramids during pyramid schemes while they got pyramids? Stupid idiots. It's not a pyramid. It's a fucking triangle, and I sit on top of it, man. What are you talking about? I pulled up some stuff about their little gold thing. I wasn't planning on going this way just yet, but hell, we can. What is it called? 7K Metals is the name. 7K Metals is the name of the place. You can do like here. I'll just read a review. Here's 7K Metals. 7K Metals has brought so much attention, especially as of late. Does it have any signs of being a scam? Could it be a income stream? Blah, blah, blah. 7K Metals started in 2016 in Idaho. They're known as a multi-level marketing company that used a multi-level approach for improved customer outreach. To join, you need to pay a member so you can use their different precious metal goods. Their stated purpose is to help people around the world with financial security. So this is the reason that Phil made the statement, don't try to go around me. Don't try to go around. We're doing this to get, you're under me, okay? Anybody try to go around me. Because you can just go to 7K Metals and find someone higher than Phil and sign up. Their purpose is to help people around the world with financial security, as global finance emergency can prove dangerous to countless individuals. However, it's a lot easier to come back when you have a strong investment portfolio, one with viable assets. What separates them from similar companies is that not they're not merely concerned with investing opportunities. They also want clients to become financially independent. When they've gained this, the stage is set to enjoy life enriched by gold and silver. When you join 7K Metals, you're promised low rates on precious metals. They say these metals are offered at the purchase price, so apparently there's no markup. They also have 7K selected collections. They have jewelry. They have dealer direct pricing, 7K gear. That's all their claims. So how do they work? You pick your starter pack. There are 3 different starter packs available. You just need to pick one that suits you, and you begin working with it. The biggest thing to keep in mind is how it works with your financial situation and what it can provide for you overall. Then you pick an auto saver coin. Once you have your starter pack, you need to pick which precious metal you'll have delivered each month. With an auto saver coin, you can have money go into assets automatically, making things a lot easier on you. And you enjoy other benefits. There are advantages to other types of memberships. You can get reduced prices on bullion, encounters with hard-to-find coins, and lovely jewelry. By the way, Phil's voice was too messed up last night to do a show, but he was able to come on and give a 2-hour lecture about how 7K Metals and Phil Silver works. Oh, and Phil's Silver website, everybody who signs up for 7K Metals gets their own website. So there's going to be Phil's Silver, there's going to be Joe's Silver, there's going to be Doug's Silver, there's going to be Janet's Silver. Everybody gets one. Membership fees. All members have to pay for either a basic or premium package. The charges for each are listed below. There's $249 for basic, $449 for premium. Travel savings card. When you join, you have to also buy a travel savings card. The cost of this is based on your membership plan. If you get basic, it's $250, premium $500. Your travel saving cards helps reduce travel costs. It also helps you get an auto saver coin plan going for some reason. Although 7K Metals is technically a legitimate business, its multi-level marketing concept gives people pause. There are many who call this 7K Metals a pyramid scheme. You kind of need to understand how multi-level marketing works before committing to something like this. Otherwise, you could end up in serious debt with no easy way out. A positive aspect of 7K Metals is that they don't try to deny what they are. Ultimately, it's up to you if you want to give them your business. They also have some good reception for their products, or at least they claim to, and their executive directors have many strong credentials. The executive directors are 4 professionals who have reached serious success in multi-level marketing businesses, some of which have now been shut down, but some of which continue to grow. However, if you're looking to invest in precious metals or promote them, there are ways to do this without getting ensnared into something that could be called a pyramid scheme, often at lower prices than you were offered through 7K Metals. Are there better alternatives? If you're looking to purchase gold and silver for yourself or helping someone you know, we have listed all other companies that do not require any type of membership fee or travel savings card, and you don't have to auto-renew your coins. These are companies that have over 5-star reviews, and Goldco, and the number one company has over 1,000 5-star reviews, and it's just Goldco, Birch Gold Group, Noble Gold. Multi-level marketing tends to mostly work for people who founded the company or people with large audiences, while everybody else seems to fall by the wayside and struggle to even break even, and for people who get in on it early. There are, of course, exceptions. Plus, you have to pay into the program in order to start building your downline. Plus, the commissions may not even pay for the cost of the program for years, unless you're able to build a massive downline quickly, which would mean that you have a large audience. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult to do. So this is all benefiting Phil so much, but you guys are just left by the wayside. A way that myself and thousands of other individuals promote gold and silver is through a private affiliate programs from precious. Yeah, even if, okay, listen. Even if you wanted a deal to where you could buy your own precious metal, and get some free, you could just go be an affiliate. You could go and say, hey, if you buy precious metal through this and use code WILL, for every $100 I sell, they send me a little coin. I have an Amazon affiliate link that they pay me a couple of cents every time somebody buys anything, as long as they click my link. I can link you to a plunger, and you go there and buy your groceries, and I still make a couple cents on it. You could easily just do affiliate marketing. You don't have to sign up for this auto renew. By the way, they tell you don't have to do the auto renew coins. They tell you don't have to do the savers card. They tell you don't have to do any of those. You don't. But you don't get any benefits whatsoever. You just give them $600 and you get $200 worth of gold or silver, and that's it. He's also going against... So 7K Metals within their own manual says that when they sign up a member, that they have to, if there's someone who they think they're going to offer the program to, they have to give them an income disclosure statement. And though I can't find it public right now, I'm looking. The income disclosure statement is a percentage-based thing of how many people actually make a profit and how much they make. So you're going to see a piece of paper that says some shit like, 84% of people don't even break even. So when they say that you have to distribute this, it says anytime you're talking to someone who may become a member. So anytime you're talking to someone who may become a member, you have to do income disclosure. It also states that you are not allowed, pending disciplinary action and expulsion from the company, 7K Metals, you are not allowed to make claims about large sums of money that you may make. You're not allowed to show bank statements or this or that or say, I made this much or I'm making this. You're not allowed to do any of that bullshit. You just show them the income statement. That's it. And you're also not allowed to make predictions about where the precious metals market will go. During Phil's last night, when he pitched the company to thousands of people on D-Live because his throat was too sore to do a show, but he had to get this precious metals side out, he literally told them that free energy and computers and everything under the sun depends on silver, and silver, if they get in now, is going to increase 10 or maybe 20 or maybe 100 times. He said it's probably worth $5,000 an ounce, and it's probably going to go up 10, 20, 100 times more than that. If he thinks he's talking to people who might potentially sign up for his group, which he was, because he told everybody else who didn't have interest to leave. This is only for people who might be interested in this. He is not allowed to make claims about how much money people might make, how much they might bring home, what type of income they'll have, or future predictions on the precious metals market. He's already, I've watched 2 fucking videos, and he's already violating their fucking agreement that he signed up with 7K Metals for. You can download their handbook that literally tells you that you cannot do this. You just give them an income disclosure statement and say, this is how most people do with 7K Metals. You can't say, I'm going to make thousands of dollars in probably a year or 2, or the market's going to take off next month. I can feel it in my blood, or they use this to get free energy. They use silver to put free energy around the world, bro. That's how they get it out of the ground, is silver. You don't think silver is going to go up to 100 times its current value? Yeah, right. He's literally already breaking their rules. And if someone was to just, I don't know, download his video and the claims he makes and the stuff he says and how he predicts the market and how he tells people, these people, there's going to be people, 3 months from now, they're just going to be getting $500 checks in the mail every week. And send it to 7K Metals and ask them if they want this type of violation of state, local, federal law and their own fucking rules on the internet for hundreds of thousands of people to watch. I would say that would probably shut down Phil's Silver for a while. He might be selling like Phil's Benoit balls or some shit. Something besides silver, that's for sure. That's for sure. I don't know. Had to check it out sometime. Get you some of that pyramid scheme going on. What else do we have here? Did you see that? The internet cut out for a second. I don't know what's going on. Let's meet this batshit crazy lady right quick. I don't know how to describe this lady to you other than her name is Kim Cuntitch, and she is the great niece of Nikola Tesla. We have to just go from there. Telepathy. History of the future.
Hi,
Telepathy.
How you doing?
Doug taught me.
Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. Yeah, this weekend,
She claims that she has been working for Trump since Trump came down the escalator and announced that he was running for president. But he didn't know it until a couple months ago. She was actually sending him telepathy messages to him. And he knew he was receiving them. He just didn't know from who. And he was guiding her. So now she runs a Facebook page that she says that Donald Trump is using to save momentous occasions within our current history because they're afraid that the deep state will destroy the history books. So they keep all the important dates and occasions and stuff on her Facebook page, and you should follow her. And I didn't believe it at first, but clearly, right there's King Tut and Donald Trump right in the background. They're clearly close. I thought, man, she doesn't know Donald Trump. I didn't know he was standing in her living room.
everything's building up. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene filed the paperwork. Congress comes back, you know, it was hot August, the clones had to die. So now we're going into the next phase of this. It all has to make sense, and we do go in order. I've been preaching that since January, February. Anybody that's been with me that long knows I've been saying, we go in order, let it unfold. So it is unfolding now. Joe needs to be taken out under the 25th Amendment, and we know that Harris cannot step up as she's illegal. Pelosi has really been arrested in real life. Trust Chuck Grassley. Trust Chuck Grassley. And I am not the only one saying this. You can go do your own homework. Please go to Telegram. You can research anything that I have told you out here the last 7-8 months for yourself. The proof is out there. The declassification is out there. Everything is on Telegram. That's where you need to go. Not just the history of the future, but you can get to the military sites, you can get to General Flynn, you can get to the Vice President Kennedy, you can get to the President, you can get to Team Trump, you can get to many of the news crew. And hey, Mel K, welcome to Telegram. I saw your show out there. Let me promote Mel K's show. You know I love her. Okay? Let's talk about the Q News crew for a minute. Okay? You know that we have Nicholas and Kristen, and they do our foreign correspondence, so to speak, foreign intelligence. Kristen especially, please quit saying that she's Chinese. She's Singapore, okay? Guys, get it straight. Michael Jaco, Intuition, okay? Scott McKay, Patriots, Street Fighters, okay? He takes it out on the street. He's interviewing people. He's out there. He's talking to people. Mike Penny, okay? He also is very in tune with discernment. You see that the Truthful News crew comes to it with a completely different approach. And that's what you're going to see on the other side is Truthful News. Anyone can sit here. Any one of our Q News crew members can sit here with the teleprompter, like right behind where this camera is, and the teleprompter's beyond that. Trust me, I've had to read from a teleprompter before. And anyone can sit there and do that and have a smile and read the teleprompter and just read the news like this. And and today in Afghanistan and Kabul, you know, and just, no, you get the real news. You get the real intelligence from the real truth-telling crew. As we go on, this crew, over the next course of until we take it down, will get more and more and more credible. The internet news will be the most credible thing. Mark those words. That's how this is going. They are still holding us hostage. We're never going to use them. When Joe is removed, it will be all over the internet, okay? When the states and the audits finally do get released, it will be all over and it will all spread like wildfire. and there are enough of us, we are really your news crew, as that history of the future was given to me divinely, and the president and I have created this. We've grown this from the beginning. The news crew you see is real. They're part of the history of the future, okay? And we're a pretty big truth-telling news crew, and we incorporate God, and you'll see OAN and Real Voice, Real America's Voice, and you will see Newsmax, and all of those people are included in this, okay? That is the media group, the internet and that, okay? And you will see Pluto, the paranormal channel, coming up in content, believable content. The History Channel on Pluto. You see Tubi and all the military intelligence under, and which you're seeing a lot of the production company, the reality production, I believe it's reality TV, and Gravitas Adventures as the production company that's being used, that takes the military classified information, puts it in a documentary, and
So how's she doing?
you know, that you
Try
can
to step away for a second.
digest much easier than just military intel, because that's all computerized, generated. We have to break it down for everyone and tell
Computerized generated.
everything has been declassed. And then to follow up with that, you can actually see the real deal declassified information. As I know, Whiplash 347 has released it, and everybody knows who Whip is. I love you, Whip. Anyway, anything on Telegram, you can see as it came down from the military channels that it needs to come down from, whether it's the Pentagon or, you know, the military, but all of it is there, the real deal, so that you can see it all. There is no excuses anymore for, oh, I didn't know. Unless you're 85 years old.
By the way, someone is making a shit ton of fake accounts and then validating them to other fake accounts. So, like, the other day, at the real Denzel Washington joined Telegram and shouted out Santa Surfing, and Santa Surfing shouted them out. Yeah, okay. There's no way to validate who owns any of these fucking accounts.
And you don't know what the internet is, okay? Honest to God, I love you baby boomers, but there are many of you that only watch that. But if you're watching this, then you're more advanced than some of your friends that are only watching that are 85 and 90 years old. That's who you need to wake up. We don't want heart attacks. This is no joke. Your friends in those nursing homes that don't go on the internet, and you do.
Are you not a baby boomer? The hell are you?
This is coming in the next 2 weeks. Joe Biden's going to be removed. They may not carry it on mainstream media. So when this all unfolds and happens, because we do go in order, it will make sense, then eventually you will hear a series of 7 texts. Text messages that come to your phone. 7 of them. They represent what's in the Bible, the 7 trumpets.
You guys didn't know that. The 7 trumpets are 7 text messages. And the 7 broken seals, the 7 seals were broken condoms that Trump used on porn stars. That's his 7 illegitimate children. One of them is what's her name?
This is very, very biblical. You may not be able to see that yet, but I promise you, as this unfolds 6, 8, 10 months from now, we're all going to take a step back and go, oh my God, how did we get through that? But we did, because God's got us and He won. It's all about God, so let's go there right now. All right, I want to point something out. I've seen this before. I've read this book twice before, but it's circulating again all over Telegram. And I did send it out in my messenger. Okay, anybody that's ever seen this, and I'm going to try to shrink it for you, but it's called Babylon Mystery Religion by Ralph Woodrow. And it's in a PDF form, and I'm going to click on it because it's all over Telegram. And this is what it looks like, okay? And it's a whole book, and it's all the content. I don't know what you can see. I'll try to go up a little closer here. But when you start reading in this, it really gives you a completely different perspective. And now, knowing there are 700 books from underneath the Vatican that we have.
No, I'm not peeing. Masturbating a little, but not peeing.
And knowing this book has been out for a long time, this was written a long time ago, there are certain people in history that have been able to get some truth out. This gentleman was one of them. And
Jesus Christ. Okay. Titty shot my ass.
And I don't want
Those cups are so small they went back to like Z and Y. They had to go negative A's.
You're going to find that some of the things that we've been practicing are really pagan. Are all pagan, actually. Let's not sugarcoat.
Pegging? Some of the things you've been practicing are pegging? I think that means something different, lady. If you mean pagan, that's different than pegging. You'll notice that some of the things that Trump and I have been practicing are pegging. What? Yeah, he's really into it. I don't know.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I work for the Lord first. I'm a cheerleader for God first. The president knows that. And he's a cheerleader for God. Everyone on the Q team, everyone in Team Trump, everyone in the military, all cheerleaders for God first. As God's leading us, it's very biblical. But when we found these 700...
I agree. Old lady should not show cleavage. It gets dirty on the floor. Mariah's does the same thing. He gets black marks on it like old sneakers. We really got to use a magic eraser on them.
Underneath, in the Vatican, because the Vatican is evil. Okay? They're the satanic. We're not saying every priest in the Catholic organization...
That is not a fly strip hanging from the ceiling. That is 2 locks of Donald Trump's hair. What are you, crazy? Fly strip. Get out of here.
People, there's a lot of good people. And everyone on earth has been tricked. Some to more to the right, some more to the left, but we've all been tricked, okay? We've all been tricked, even the president. If you live on planet Earth...
Damn, trick bitch. You be pegging.
300,000, 13 family bloodline that has been ruling the entire planet Earth for 16,000...
Yeah, we've watched that one already, the patio one.
The Bible, it's very biblical, it's a satanic bloodline. But anyway, back to the Vatican, that is part of it. That is where it's all originating, stemming from, okay? As the Vatican ran the show for every single organized religion. And you're going to find 300 years after Jesus died, they started changing the teachings. Truly changing the teachings. And there was no printing press, okay?
Wow.
So they started changing the teachings 300 years ago. Now it all makes sense when you go back to the Bible.
They were pegging, though.
Paul kept writing in the Bible, like, things are a mystery, God didn't tell us that. Things are a mystery, God didn't tell us.
This is Kimberly Cunt Itch.
What's that? Well, yeah, of course, when they do this, they add to this or they take away from that, and then they hide all of this. Yeah, all the priests, pastors, all the good ones are all going through this stuff and have been as we've had this stuff for a couple years now.
Oh, okay.
The pictures are circulating on Telegram of when the president went there and let the Pope know.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't pretty. Just like the picture circulating on Telegram when the president stepped right in front of the Queen and walked right in front of her. Hybrid Queen, evil. Okay? Just like when the president went over to
Satan's Little Helper 216.
Big, humongous party for him with the sword and the dance that we saw on mainstream media actually carried that. And I think they didn't have anything nice to say about it. But I want to point that out now. No one knows the president's heart. No one. No one. And no one knows how heavy this load was. Okay? No one. All right? But there's a lot of things the president did to give you clues, and not one media member picked it up. All right? When they changed the song YMCA, what else did he do? What else did he do, mainstream media, that you didn't run the story on? No one, actually. I don't think I heard this story one place.
He danced poorly?
Non-denominational on this religion. Ding, 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 ding. Everybody should have picked up on that when he changed the song YMCA and went non-denominational. Okay, ding, 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 stuff's out of the Bible, ding, 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 ding. Okay, I can decode it all. He's like my dad, and I tell you,
she looks like a beautiful woman. I forgot that's intrinsic values, but like if you had an old like leather suitcase that maybe you forgot and left outside, and the dog chewed up a little bit, and it kind of got baked and cracked in the sun, and that would also be beautiful.
he really is the king of many lands and the president of the United States. He really is. You're going to find out. Don't believe me. Just wait. You're going to find out. But this
I'm waiting, baby.
It's the honest God truth, and I don't think he'll mind when I tell this story. I hope
And it's leery.
President Trump, I hope you're not mad. I'm telling the story. So he's the king, and you're going to find out, of many foreign lands. Okay, and don't laugh at me. I'll end up having the ark, the Noah's Ark, when it's pouring down rain in a couple weeks. Don't laugh at me. He's the king of many lands and the president of the United States. And he bailed out this country.
Hope it don't rain that hard.
Under a false constitution that they threw in and slid in 1871. Trust me, it's a huge story, okay? All goes back to the Bible. It's very evil, very satanic. It stems out of the Vatican and then the London people, those, you know, the Queen and her gang.
I've never liked those London people. You guys met M?
President's heart. No one knew what it meant when he went non-denominational. It meant we got everything out of the Bible. Ding, ding, ding. No one picked up on that when the songs changed. President Trump's got a wonderful heart. You can see the change in him from when he was Donald Trump to President Trump. Okay, you can see he's not calling out people by name right now. That was a whole show on television we had to do. So, you just need to know, don't judge him by the last 4 years. Because you have no idea what's coming in technology and the good that he has done. TNT Electric is very real. Tesla Trump Electric. There would be no...
Ooh, Tesla Trump Electric.
My uncle invented it. On my uncle's deathbed, he only trusted Uncle John. And Uncle John took a true love to what Uncle Tesla was working on. They were like blood brothers, okay? They damn near blew up the entire world at one point. I could see those two mischievous in the basement right now at that New York hotel, where they damn near blew up the whole world. But anyway, they were like blood brothers, okay? So that was the bond, that was the relationship. Mine's just as strong, if not stronger.
Makes sense.
I am like my dad, okay? So everybody in the world is gonna find out he's like the president and the king.
There's no way he's old enough to be your fucking dad, lady. You look like you're his crazy aunt.
Of many countries, but I said to him many times in the last 8 months, I could never do this. One, if the Lord didn't raise me up to do it, all glory to God. But two, when the Lord raised me up to do it, it was how the Lord raised me up to look at the president. He said immediately, I heard it many times back in December, I am to look at him as my dad. I am to look at him as my dad. If it was good for my dad, you do it for the president. And he looked at me the same way like one of his kids, okay? There's a bond there that's so tight. So I
told you 7 broken condoms.
Honestly, I look at you like dad, and that's the feeling of agape love. But it all stems back to the Bible. It's where God directed everything in the Bible under Q is that lost military chapter and the government chapter. And 12 is the number of the government. So it's all going back to that. And in this whole thing, you can see where it all kind of comes together. If you're studying any of this on YouTube, it's all out there for you. These lost books you have to go find. But Q is a lost book, and it's in the Bible, and it was how God...
You said you never wanted to become...
It goes back to loyalty. You've heard the president a million times say loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. He wasn't saying it for his health. He wasn't saying it to be egotistical or pride. The Comey thing with the loyalty when he first got in office, that was a big deal because it goes back to the Bible. And these books you didn't know about, including the Q book, which is how to do government and military and how important loyalty is. Actually, God talks a lot.
The Q book is how to do government and military and how important loyalty is. That makes sense.
About loyalty, and they hid it from us. Loyalty is like one of the number ones you can have because with loyalty, then
now you got a bruise for Yuri.
You get those feelings of trust.
And a spoon in your pussy.
Like, I got your back thing. You know what? I felt that in the airlines. Any crew member, and that's how you're supposed to feel. Any crew member, you set any human feelings aside and you save your fellow crew member. It's a loyalty, it's a military thing, it's a crew member thing, but it goes back to the Bible and Q. Okay? But loyalty builds trust. And in my case, loyalty, because I worked for the president the last 6 years.
Listen here, doll.
I actually run in and out of the
Me and Trump's gonna be running this thing in no time flat.
Story all the way back to the days of Westchester County when I'd kick the CRJ door open on my 50-passenger jet and I'd be like, oh, there's Trump's plane. Because the Trump plane would be like right there and I'd have to look at it and I'd be like, oh, I want to be on that plane. Anyway, that's for another time. But it all goes back.
Everybody is, including the speaker. Don't worry about being confused. She's been lost 4 or 5 times.
The Bible, loyalty, but for in my case, the loyalty, the trust, and working for the president, training under the president, he's had me under his tutelage, groomed me. I know how he thinks. He's like a reality TV mogul, so he's just the one to be putting this whole story together, right? What did he do before? Reality TV mogul? Anyway, that whole thing goes to that loyalty, that trust, but then for me, I take it one step further. There have been many times over the last 8 months that it has been hard. Not just for my family, but for like the president's family or the Kennedy family or many Patriots families. The divides have been real. We're trying to bring everybody back together as this is really the Galactic Federation and Earth and the first encounter, the first meeting, the first contact, disclosure, telepathic communication, really a beautiful future, free electric, it's all very real. Nasara, Gasara, the wealth, the NDAs, all of that, real, okay? That's really where I'd like everybody to be because that's such a positive place. It's a positive place to be. But yeah, we've got all this stuff we have to deal with. And we have to get through this moment in history. And we have to have a come to Jesus meeting, you know, where we all come together, even the naysayers, even the never Trumpers, even the radicals.
Even the naysayers, even the never Trumpers.
Over this way, you know, hopefully.
This is what it sounds like when you spend half your life smoking a carton a day.
Praying that there are no riots when we go through this. So as I know it to be, you will see the removal of Joe, you will see the states, then you will see the 7 texts, and then your phones will go dark. That's it. Your phones are cut off.
The 7 texts, the 7 trumpets.
At some point, the electric goes out. It will be out 1 to 3 days because we are bringing up Odin, Starlink system, and wireless electric.
I am Alpha Lucaya,
Tesla technology.
General of the Lord.
We're calling TNT Electric because that was divinely inspired, and the president knows that. So I hope, because there would be no electric company without Uncle John. They were like blood brothers. Tesla gave Uncle John everything, you know, like a couple of days before he died. So they're like, and me and the president.
That's not even true. I mean, it is true that John Trump had some of Tesla's papers after he died.
And I look at him like, Dad, as a matter of fact, in my blog, this is what I was going to say, and I don't think he'll mind. In my blog a couple times, I'm like, okay, Dad. Because I love him like that. And that's how I had to look.
That's what she was going to say in her blog. And then she said, matter of fact, actually in my blog a couple times, I said, okay, Dad.
At it to do this job for 8 months. Because if I love him like that, then I'm putting everything, you know, ahead of me, using my discernment and loving him like a father to do this.
Losing my discernment. Mike Wazowski. You haven't filled out those 2319s?
Job. And so did the entire news crew. And you will find each one of us.
2319 is when the kid breaks in. What's the papers called he's supposed to fill out?
There's a common thread that runs through it. And the other common thread is we all kind of look at President Trump like our leader, our little dad. You know what I mean? Like a little family. We really are. And you hear the president talking more and more and more about God and things like that. No, he's not going to come out and tell you, all about the Galactic Federation right now, because he can't, okay? But I can.
He can't, okay? He just can't.
And all of that yesterday, and it was really tough. By 8:30 last night, I wanted to chit-chat with some of my friends online, you know, in a little voice thing, and my head hurt too much. And then today I felt it again because we have been practicing. But you have to remember the first time I said,
Ma, you want some chocolate?
I saw that shooting star at the same time I said telepathic breakthrough. At the same time, the shooting star went over my house. That is not an oddity. That's a godity, okay? So for weeks I was practicing then, and I had the headaches, and I got the lightheaded.
That's a godity. And she's got the body, yaddy, 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 yaddy.
He is like my own dad. He will not let anything happen to this brain, okay? And he respects when I say, hey, listen, we're doing too much. I can't hear the Lord. I can't hear the Lord. Get out of my head. Every one of them in the military.
Yeah, the Galactic Federation is all the aliens that got together and formed the Galactic Federation. They've actually been waiting for us as Earth to ascend to a level that we were ready to join. Donald Trump is actually a 9th dimensional, interdimensional, alien-style beast who is sent here to save us, and he's also the only candidate from Earth that's eligible to represent us in the Galactic Federation. That's why when he gets reinstated as president, he's only going to be president for 1 minute, and he's going to step down, and his vice president, JFK Jr., is going to come up, and then they'll have to name a new vice president.
Military, and like my dad, make sure that my brain is protected, and that my gift, like...
Make sure that...
have direct downloads.
The fuck's wrong with this bitch?
That I can assure you of. That I can assure you of. He treats me like...
Oh, it's gotten worse since you left, Dreas.
Text this.
Like, everybody's like... Well, not everybody. Some of the people who, used to watch me on Twitch when I did politics and stuff are like, man, you've changed. You've went to a different side. Motherfucker, I ain't changed shit. These people are trying to tell me to get ready to ascend, and I've got to send in so much money, and we're joining the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and I got to go underneath the Vatican to get my universal basic income gold, and sending me pictures from sci-fi movies telling me that's the new health care, and just fucking crazy shit. They told us JFK Sr. was Jesus Christ. Not the bloodline. Jesus Christ reincarnate. Y'all changed. I didn't do shit. Y'all changed, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse, but you kept getting more and more money.
This is like a gift that I may have, but I know I was supposed to pop up and work for the president. You know what I mean? It's like programmed in me, and I had a near-death experience, and I think we're going to find out on the other side once they release all...
Oh, by the way, everybody who's died since 2015 is coming back on a big spaceship one day, right about the time of Ascension to come join us. Those people aren't really dead.
I've heard a lot of fake science, like, oh, when you have a near-death experience, you lost, the ability to, breathe, and it's just your brain shutting off and misfiring. No. You're going to find out these near-death experiences teach every one of us something as we come back here. We're not taken into heaven yet. Like my grandma said.
She worked for Trump for 6 years. It's just that she was the only person who knew it. She was sending him... She claimed she worked for him for 6 years. Sending him messages and advice telepathically, and then when she finally confronted him, she said, "Oh, Dad, I've worked for you for 6 years." And he said, "I knew somebody was sending me messages. Is that you?" "Of course it is. My great uncle Nicola."
Me back. But when I came back, before I did, I was shown a lot of pictures, and I was explained a lot of things, okay? So life was different from that point forward. I knew what I had to study. I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to create. I knew who I had to work with, as this gift is very real. But he is like my dad and treats me like one of his own kids. And this gift I have is his secret little weapon, okay? Let's just put it that way. It's for the president, as that's what I was told by the Lord. I'm a cheerleader for God, but so is he. So we're on the same wavelength. What you're going to find is frequencies. You know that chemistry feeling you feel with people, and you're like, wow. And you walk into a room, and there could be 20 people in there, but you connect with only 2 of them, and it's on such a level. Do you ever have that happen? They're going to come to find out frequencies mean something, even in the chemistry field of who's your friends, all of that stuff. Frequencies are very real. Just like in the Bible, Numbers, that chapter, okay, we weren't given all the information. They gave us the Numbers chapter, but they left out how important gematria is. Now, mind you, that is not my lane. I don't run in numbers. My cousin does. She does fabulous, too. But anyway, you've heard of maybe Tom numbers or -48. You've heard of some of these guys that really know their numbers, and they know gematria because they've been in it a long time. Because
you mean -48, 216, Satan's little helper 216, Trump is the Antichrist 216? That -48, 216?
I'm saying some of these people were able, because the information has always kind of been out there or alluded to, like this was a Da Vinci Code in real life, even though, people didn't believe it.
I don't find these people, they find me. Just don't worry about it.
Movie Da Vinci Code, it really is. Well, gematria was supposed to coincide with the book of Numbers in the Bible, but they neglected to tell you that. There's a lot of things that Jesus came here to tell us. Gematria is one of them. It does matter.
Germantria. German tria. Germantria.
Jesus also came here to tell us how supernatural that said Jesus came here to tell us. Germantria is one of them. It does matter. Jesus also came here to tell us how supernatural that book is. It's a supernatural spiritual warfare fighting book, okay? Giants are real. You're gonna find out some things, like let's just face it, the Catholic Church, through the Vatican, and I'm not saying the priests on every level, I am saying the Vatican, the way they set up the Catholic Church, it's evil. You're gonna find that out. The paganism that's within that spread out to
The paganism. The paganism. The strap on from the Vatican and the paganism. You know what Easter really represents? Butt sex.
all organized religions, and they've been controlled.
I didn't say it, she did.
So, back to this. You're going to find out these teachings go back to like 300 years. Everything started getting changed after Jesus died, around 300 years. Okay, including the pre-Adamic world, which is the world before Genesis.
The what?
Died around 300 years. Okay, including the pre-Adamic world, which is the world before Genesis, our past, our ancient civilizations, which I believe there were 5 on this planet. But anyway, you're going to find out that is so tied to our future and what the technology is in the future. The past, the present, and the future are tied together. Might make sense why I'm involved, because I have Tesla's gift. And there are times I see the past and the present and the future, and this is one of them, as I've been looking in the future, tying into the past. And it's very easy to see it when your pineal gland, or whatever, I'm probably pronouncing it.
When your pineal gland gets enlarged, cause all the pagan rituals, you just gotta release your penal. Your pineal gland? I got one you can borrow, Melanie.
Working in the future, tying into the past, and it's very easy to see it when your pineal gland, or whatever, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but however you pronounce that gland that's supposed to be awake, start thinking positive.
Yeah, your pineal gland. Mine wakes up about every morning when I wake up, 2 or 3 times through the day. Sometimes I just tuck it in my belt until it goes away, like up towards my belly. If you put enough pressure on it and kind of ignore it. Sometimes I say the Pledge of Allegiance till it disappears. Different things. Think about getting run over by a car. That usually kills it pretty quick. Cold showers. It shrink. My pineal gland shrinks when I'm in cold water to begin with, whether it's awakened or not. It watches me brush my teeth sometimes. It's like a little one-eyed winker. What?
That's the best thing you can do for that thing. Get lots of sleep, hydrate, take your vitamins.
Well, yeah, lots of sleep, hydrate, exercise it every once in a while. I hear different flavored yogurts can change the taste of it. I wouldn't know, right? It does whiten her teeth. We've tried that. 3 shades whiter in 3 weeks.
Vitamins, think positive. And when I say positive, if you can't go positive, then open-minded. My uncle Tesla had to stay open-minded. Turns out his technology is...
That makes sense. Open-minded. I don't know that I ever got to her mind, but I tried through her throat, and it was basically like a can opener.
Ancient civilization. And there's a lot of paganism in the Bible because of it, okay? Like, you will find out. How did we end up making Sunday the day of rest?
That's right, Hook. Everybody fish Hook in the chat. We got almost 300 people in here. What the hell are y'all doing? What's that? Why do people show up to watch? Have you figured it out? Why do people even show up to watch?
His teachings on this kind of stuff is really good. But anyway, that stuff is tied to this world of today. As back, then they were actually doing the day of rest based on the sun god, okay, or goddess.
Oh, so there is no day of rest. That's a day for pagans.
Sun god. I forgot which one that was, but all of that Greek mythology that we thought was mythology is really an ancient civilization dating back to the Bible. It's where the Watchers come from, and the giants come from in Genesis, but it's the civilizations before. And
Oh.
on with this. So today in the church,
What about that whole part about the earth was void and without form? You remember that part? Separate, he created the land and the water and separated the two. Let there be light. They're just hanging out in the void.
that Sunday worship is really supposed to be Saturday. If you go back,
That's those Jehovah's Witnesses that knock on your door. They worship on Saturday.
which they call the Torah in, Judaism,
Bora Bora.
the Jewish call the Torah or the Old Testament, okay? And you go back there, the real teaching is Saturday.
It was literal pagan mythology. You misspelled pegging. He called out as heretics in the Bible. That's right.
Now, I don't think it's really going to much matter. I really don't think Jesus is up there hanging out going, oh my God, they worshipped on the wrong day. But if you're consciously worshiping the Son, God, and you are only worshiping...
Just because it's called Sunday, that has little to do... The sun's still the same on the other days, too, right? There's no... The other ones aren't like the dark days.
Worshiping on Sunday because you worship that sun god? Well, then I do think Jesus...
Nope, she doesn't. You're worshiping on Sunday because you worship the sun god? Sun?
Jesus is up there judging you, and well, he should. Okay? So think about it. That kind of stuff. This is where it's so important because it goes back to that world before Genesis. And some of the things today are tied with the past. We can prove it over and over and over again. As these new teachings...
That's right. We worship the god Saturn because it's Saturday. We drop the N.
Things are coming out. They're all released on YouTube. They're all over the internet. All you need to do is put in the lost books, put in Christ letters 1 through 9. You can put in the book of Sarah, the book of Enoch. By the way, book of Enoch, Michael Heisner, Dr. Michael Heisner, best teacher. Go to his YouTube page and subscribe. I have watched pretty much everything on Dr. Michael Heisner's page on YouTube. He is one of the best teachers. He's got an open mind.
Makes sense.
You, sir, because you have an open mind and at least let the information come in. Because if you naysayers and you never want to hear any of this type people, that's even worse than anything because that means you have this teaching in you. And we're all going forward in the world and having this new teaching that's old, that was hidden from us. And if you can't even open your mind enough to let us say, hey, go look here for the information and make up your own mind, we got bigger problems.
By the way, if you want direct military information, don't go to your superior officers. Don't wait for a fucking briefing. Don't go to the intel hooch before a mission. What you need to do is follow the lines from real Donald Trump to real Ezra Cohen to real Whiplash to real Brad Barton, and then that's where you're going to pick up your information from on Telegram.
That's where we have to reach humanity's heart because those people can't go talking telepathically to the Galactic Federation and all the aliens and ETs. They'll scare them to death with those.
They all are now, Dreas, dude. Like, Scott McKay started out with right-wing Christian conservative church. He said, I don't go to church, but, the motorcycle's my church. I encourage you guys to go to church, get your mind right, get right with God, blah, 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 too. He now won't even say God. He says source. And we're all light beings, and we're all got to prep for ascension because if you're not ready for the ascension, you'll be reincarnated and recycled back to a 3-dimensional level. And everybody else is going to come back on the spaceship, and we're going to finally meet the higher intelligence people who are on the same level as our source. Like, all the grifters still claim Christianity, still claim conservatism, but they've given it up. They're on some universal medical care, universal basic income, God, Emperor Trump, Galactic Federation, and Ascension. Like, it's all fucking reincarnation. It's all fucking weird.
Of attitudes.
And then, like, if I say, "Oh, Scott McKay is lying about that," like, this is a direct quote as best I can remember from Scott. He said, "I can't wait till one day I'm walking down the street." And I look down at my leg because I feel something funny, and I'm like, oh, what's that? it's a beam of light. And I look at my other leg, it's another beam of light. Both my arms are beams of light. And I look at my friend who I was walking with, that's not my friend, that's my prison. And I'm finally ready to ascend. And that's what I think Source is going to do to us. And then if I say that's a bunch of bullshit, they're like, you Satanist? What, you don't believe in Jesus? What are you talking about, dude? I'm not super religious, but I was at least raised in church, and they weren't talking about none of that shit. I enjoyed the camper tour. Here's a tip to help out with any free-range family members. Yeah, I got Mariah free range for now. John Frank, 3 6-packs. Thank you very much. She just doesn't do good when I give her that like silage and stuff to chew on. It's gassy and shit. Bloated. Ornery.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's a heart thing here. We got a heart problem because we don't know the Lord. Okay? We got a...
Bitch, you ain't never know the God that I know. I can tell from here. You ain't never known the God that I know. I don't know what the fuck you're worshiping. But it's not the one that I did.
Heart problem because we don't know God. How can you talk to the Galactic Federation telepathically if your heart is not aligned with God?
See how they slip up so quick? Like, I could get on board with, you got a heart problem because you don't know God. We need to bring God back. We need to do this. We need to put this and kids and teach them values and morals and read the Bible. And then they go, how are you going to talk to the aliens of the Galactic Federation if you don't know God? It comes and goes. It slips right out.
God, because theirs is. They're not coming here to kill us.
Oh my God.
We're scared of you guys. We don't know what you're capable of. We've seen all of the fighting you people do on planet Earth, human beings. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but we want to get to know you. And we're a little concerned getting to know you.
Oh yeah, Ollie's already been on. Liam didn't come on tonight. Ollie already said goodnight.
Don't even extend your hand, because they don't even want that. But we want to get to know you and your emotions. You're ruining your planet. Your planet is the most beautiful place in the universe, and it's a replenishing stop for all of us. And you live on the planet.
That's actually not a life-size mummy back there. That's Donald Trump. And a lot of people don't know this, but Nikola, as she pronounces it, Nikola Tesla was actually mummified. That's a free energy casket. It's been keeping him cryogenically frozen.
We are guarding all your nuclear stations as we can't get involved.
That's not a fly strip. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. That is 2 locks of Donald Trump's hair hanging from her ceiling fan. That's how she smells him.
Drama on planet Earth. You patriots, human beings, have to figure it out and take over. Take over the evil hybrid bloodline. That is pretty much gone because...
And yes, the hair is blonde by gold. He's sending us a signal.
...dealt with it the last 4 years while he was president when you thought we were really on TV screaming about Congress and this and that. And it was real with AOC and all her drama and the squad and all that. That was real, but look at the...
Just remember, me holding a mirror up to the crazy and saying, hey, guys, isn't this shit right here crazy? Is more dangerous than the people who are running around spreading the crazy. People believe that's bad too. But what I do is worse. I'm full of hatred.
Look at the level, okay? You have the Galactic Federation, you have aliens, and then you have this little peddly drama. Do you see how the world is going to change when they know this is all very real? The Galactic Federation and us trying to unite and us first contact disclosure. How important this is, how big this is, the satanic bloodline, they're coming to extend a hand.
Mike Wazowski. Okay, get over it. Oh...
Chalubi, baby. Good morning. Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork. Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
Don't let it happen again.
Yes, well...
Or you'll get a good pagging.
They want to be friends.
They've even got the same glasses, Mariah. Look at the rims on that glass. You know the evil satanic cabal has to show you in movies what they're going to do before that. This bitch is going to be slamming her desk, making us pay, or making us do our paperwork before we can go home.
Remember, technology is not the enemy. Technology is neutral. It's the person operating the technology or programming the technology. We have to know who their heart is, what their heart is, how they
We have to know who their heart is. Who is your heart, sir?
operate in the heart. Do they know the Lord?
Operation. Bah. That was how she makes the buzzer noise.
Just like the news. Okay, everything has to, like, every system has to be rebuilt. But when we rebuild all of these systems, where are these patriots' hearts? Do they know the Lord?
The color don't matter. It's the same. It's the same frame shape. All she needs is some chains.
Because I'm looking at it now that I've been dealing with the Galactic Federation for 4 or 5 months. I'm looking at it like they do.
Do you think? How many Secret Service agents would they dedicate to Kimberly Cuntitch if by chance we could get Trump to see one of these videos? Like, how many people would be working on that case? Like, oh, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming. Did you see his hair hanging from the ceiling? What about that cardboard cutout? She actually assaulted a security guard and stole that from a hotel. Yeah, she's coming for sure.
Our race, human race, humans, 100% humans.
Humans. Humans.
And it stems from not knowing who they are, from being dummied down. Okay, over the last 30 years, that's all you've seen on television. Everybody got caught up in the internet and the screens and the music industry and Hollywood, and you could be your own mini god. So I'm looking at it like they do. And then they start...
I mean, she's like... She is to humans what a raisin is to a grape. She's clearly shriveled up, completely dehydrated, and lost her fucking mind.
Start looking at all the wars we've had, the fighting that goes on. Okay, they still can't get past the fact that we did use the atomic bomb. Hiroshima, okay? They felt that out in the universe. They felt that. So maybe my perspective is a little different than everybody else's since I've been telepathically communicating with them.
Oh, she's also been communicating with the Federation. I forgot to tell you guys that.
The military, the whole program, the space program, all of that. Picking up exactly where Uncle Tess...
You can hear in the background the jingling that sounds like a small house pet. No, that's just what she does to calm herself. She has 2 jingle bells in each hand, and she just rings them.
Left off, but it's opened my mouth.
It's really weird when she calls the cat over and tries to feed it, but it's just her hand, and she's feeding it out of a can. Here you go. Get you some.
To how they look at us. Get one with the heart. That's why I'm here, okay? That's why I'm here, to tell you get one with the heart. Well, how do you do that? Get your heads back in the Old Testament. Seriously, spiritual warfare is real. They will tell you. Those Galactic Federation...
They only felt one of them. Once they felt the first one, they turned off the monitors.
Beings, humanoids, will tell you. God is very real out there. A life force. Spiritual warfare has been around forever. They lowered the frequency.
She got really upset there. Did you hear her shake her collar?
They did this back in the 1800s. They're 1,000 years more advanced than what we currently have here on planet Earth right now. Okay? Think Jetsons on steroids. Anybody grow up watching the show The Jetsons? And it was an animated show with George Jetson. There's George Jetson and his dog Elroy.
Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy, Jane, his wife. You got it wrong, lady.
Advanced than what we currently have here on planet Earth right now. Okay? Think Jetsons on steroids. Anybody grow up watching the show The Jetsons? And it was an animated show.
Yeah, the dog's name's Astro, but that's not how the song goes.
And his dog, Elroy. I can't sing, but that was it, right? And Judy?
No.
Oh, yeah, and Eleanor, I think. I don't know. And Rosie the maid, who's a computer. Think like that on steroids. They're 1,000 more years advanced in the universe than we here are on Earth. We are rushing in technology like you've never seen, like you can't get your head around it. This is why I'm saying technology is neutral. Don't look at it as being evil, because it's not. It's who's programming.
It's literally meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy, Jane, his wife. Da, 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 da. We could probably play it. Hold on. I used to love this cartoon.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy.
His boy Elroy.
Daughter Judy.
Daughter Judy.
Jane, his wife.
Jane, his wife. Da, 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 da. I told you. He doesn't even say Astro's name in it.
Who's using it? They were using the technology for bad. They created all these evil clone labs. They took your ancestry DNA, your 23andMe, and they made clones of you, okay? They did the bad stuff.
I don't think it's common to Trump talk. I think it's chewing off a table leg. It was loud as fuck.
The dark web. They ran the dark web. DARPA, the CIA, television, okay? The whole...
God damn, what's it? It got after that mummy. I heard metal moving. What's it doing? Oh. Yeah, his boss's name was Cosmo Spacely of Spacely Sprockets. He made sprockets for stuff in space.
CIA stuff, how they sold you television. It's always been government controlled, DARPA run, okay? I hope everyone understands this magnitude.
Listen, the very first thing Phil says about the dark web is absolutely false. He could not have gotten a link on his phone and clicked it, and it opened a completely different service and a Tor browser and went to a website. That's not how it works. You can't even use a search engine in the dark web to find other. Well, you might be able to some. But if you don't know the name of the search engine, it's not like going to your homepage and saying, best site to buy Hitman. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you have to know the addresses. There's no links to the dark web. Oh, I just clicked a link and then suddenly I recognized I was in the dark web and someone took my mouse. That's not how it works. You have to be running Tor and some type of Tor browser or .onion or there's a few different ones now, but still. And last time I was there was like one or two search engines that were up. They weren't very good, and you still had to know the exact address and put it in right, or you didn't go anywhere. If you don't put the exact name of the website you want to go to in right, you don't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to like Google and say, "Did you mean this?" That's not how it works.
Please keep an open mind as we go forward. I started looking at it like from how they do. Now I have to be all for humans, and this is where I tell them, no, you can't keep showing up in people's bedrooms, living rooms, and just appearing like a ghost.
Who's showing up in your house? Wait, hold on.
How they sold you television. It's always been government controlled, DARPA run, okay? I hope everyone understands this magnitude. Please keep an open mind as we go forward. I started looking at it like from how they do. Now I have to be all for humans, and this is where I tell them, no, you can't.
And by the way, there were people that used him saying he clicked a link and he went to the dark web and they took over his mouse and stuff, and there were people that were using that and saying, oh, look, I work for the government. Everything he's saying about you guys wouldn't know this. It just sounds like normal stuff to you, but everything they're saying is absolutely true. That's the way the government dark web works. You click on a link, then somebody's got control of your mouse, and they just shut your shit down, and they tell you when you can talk. That's not how it works. I've been all over the dark web, and I'm starting to doubt everything you've ever fucking told me because you come in here and just fucking lying for this pedo guy. The guys that are doing this say they used to work for the government. They used to be this and they used to be that. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's the way the government... I've done this before. That's exactly the way it works. The stuff he said, to a normal person, that wouldn't be anything. But to me, it gave me confirmation that he was true, that he's legit. Why? If you really have knowledge, if you really work to these positions, then you're lying. Why would you lie to endorse him? Or... you didn't, and you're trying to pad your own resume.
I started looking at it like from how they do. Now I have to like be all for humans, and this is where I tell them, no, you can't keep showing up in people's bedrooms, living rooms, and just appearing like a... Is
she just talking about aliens just showing up in people's houses?
Ghost, because they can do that. Frequencies are very real. This technology is real. Once it's all turned on planet Earth, raised to the level...
Feed that dog, lady.
You're going to see how frequencies come in your life and play such an important part. Frequency, vibration, and energy can heal you along with photon therapy and the Tesla coil system in the med beds that you thought we were making ventilators 18 months ago. Every company in the world is supposed to be making ventilators, right? Every company in the world was making Uncle Tesla technology med beds, okay?
Oh, perfect.
6,000 cures. Yeah, you heard me right. And there's a med bed channel on Telegram. Remember that.
There's a medbed channel on Telegram. Everything on Telegram's the truth. Welcome to Telegram.
So this is all...
You work for these people? You got stock in the company?
Human beings are destructive, man.
Jesus Christ. Feed that dog. It's howling at her. It went over and started chewing on her, what I can only imagine is a basically wooden leg at this point, judging from the rest of her dried up skin. We heard that. It was splintering. Then it went over there and started fucking throwing the goddamn dog bowl up against the wall. Just wham, ba-bam, ba-bam, bam. And now it's like, what the fuck? Feed that dog, lady. It's going to be one of those things where they're like, oh, this lady adopted a chimpanzee and then it ripped her fucking face off. It's going to eat her in her sleep. I think you have to keep like a minimum level of food in a dog before they fucking attack. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not a vetro scientist or chemical engineer or nothing, but seems legit.
They were able over all these years. Now these guys know what's going on up there. They know about the evil.
Listen to that. Holy shit, feed that dog. Arr, arr, arr. They've got the same raspy voice too. You think somebody forgot to feed her? Jesus Christ! They both smoke Pall Malls. You want a hit of this, Rufus? Arr, arr, arr.
Well, but they couldn't be the ones to take it down. Now that the human beings are doing that, and President Trump has led the way in this, okay? Now that has happened, they are...
If that dog's got a tiny little switchblade or something, this lady's fucked. That's the next escalation. Like, it's over with. Something's going on with that dog. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's gonna slowly start pushing her out the second story window.
Involved by guarding all the new...
Look, it gave up and went over there and sat with Trump. Oh, you guys can't see it. Look, it gave up and went over there. It's like, fuck you, bitch. I'll go sit over here with Daddy Trump. Begging the cardboard guy to give it some food.
But we are at world peace with a world. There are 10 country leaders that kind of run it for the entire world. All the countries, including the Lost Lands. Because that's very real. The flat earth thing, go back to the Bible, look at it. It's actually got a sphere around it and there's a protective covering, okay? And it's kind of like a gel, and it's transparent and maybe even a little bluish in certain areas. But it's around our earth.
Jeez, they know if they take this is their last chance, okay? They take this lady off to the nut house, they're not getting fed by nobody. They've stood there for 6 weeks at the fucking sarcophagus and the Trump's cut out. They don't get no food over there. They got it. This lady's their last hope. Shut the video down, lady.
Either a God-given gift where God talks to them, gives them discernment, gives them visions, either in the daytime or...
Clearly that dog's frozen and there's a new dog. A new dog has entered and it's starving to death now.
sleeping. There are people that can truly time travel and disconnect their soul. Many that have
Don't even try it, buddy. That dog came up empty-handed.
That means a lot more than anyone realized. Because those people usually know how to disconnect the soul and they can go time travel. And what they bring back coincides with many other dimensions in the same time, as time is not what we were told it was.
Why would you have to disconnect your soul to time travel? So you don't feel bad about not feeding your dogs for 6 or 7 months while you're out of this century? Yeah, I'm going to the 1800s for a few months. I'll be back next week. You need me to check on your dogs? Nah. They'll probably pull through.
Remember I did that kind of timeline where you had all the by the hundreds, the years down here, and then up above it was like 1 through 12 in the dimensions. That's all I saw. If there's more dimensions, I did not see any. The Lord hasn't allowed me to go there. There are some things I see in picture form from the Lord that I have all my life, or that have come in like in the last 10 years when I had the near-death experience and I saw the universe. I also saw many more dimensions than just the one I was born with all my life to be able to see in at times. And it's all
she's never fed those dogs. She's got to do the videos between the nurses' visits when they give her a sedative, because then she's just out. The nurse comes in, hits the feeder, and it's like, oh, don't you love your dogs? And then the last thing she just sees is it just fading out, and the dog's standing over with a pillow.
To the Lord, it's not something I can control. This is a real God-given gift, but it is used for good. It is used with the President of the United States, the team, the Vice President, General Flynn, Mike Pompeo, and it has been being used for...
The Vice President, General Flynn, Mike Pompeo. Those are two different people. The official Vice President of the United States, General Flynn, Mike Pompeo, JFK Jr. You know, the guy.
Good, and it is really part of the Tesla family. And that's true. And I'm working with the intelligent light beings and light workers, peacekeepers, because that's what I have found them to be. They are beautiful humanoids. They're peacekeepers, okay? They may look different from us. The humans need to get right with their heart, need to find God.
Why'd you name your dog Lucky, Kimberly? Oh, is it because it has good luck? No, it's because you can see 13 of its ribs.
To find their intuitive gut. That gut is God, and find that in you. You should not be one going and talking with the beings telepathically if you have any kind of attitude, okay? If you think you're your own mini little God, okay? Because that's not what we're about anymore. We gotta get past this. We gotta wake up our friends. We gotta get our friends up in the nursing home. We gotta get the
got fleas too.
Gen X up, the millennial up, and somehow we all have to gel. It's coming. This is what's real. Now, I pretty much went on a little soapbox for the last 45 minutes, so I'm gonna end it here.
You need to get on a 50-pound bag of dog food is what you need to do. Stomp that sumbitch open so them dogs can eat.
But I will show you once again that book that I really think is so important for everyone to be taking.
That book. Jesus, lady.
One more thing, though, before I do end it. Even to...
This is going to be one of those commercials where it's like, in the arms of an angel. Hi, I'm Sarah McLaughlin. Did you know for just 29 cents a day, you could feed both the Kimberly Cunitch's dogs? They're starving to death. No one cares.
There are real issues, like in this book, or if you start going back and looking at the ancient teachings, they go all the way back to the pre-world before Genesis. They were worshiping, I believe it was Aphrodite.
They go all the way back to before my dog started eating the baseboards and drywall in the bathroom. It must be something that smells good down there. I don't know.
fertility goddess, or Athena, the fertility goddess. Somehow that turned into a pagan movement that got involved.
It's not pagan. Ladies, stop saying that. People are going to show up for some kind of freaky fucking party in your pagan movement.
Vatican adopted those practices, and this is how it came about with Mary and Jesus and this representation.
Please don't say that Mary, mother of Jesus, the Virgin, was pagan.
Of worshiping Mary. Mary
God can't see the back door.
is a human being. Jesus would even tell you, no, you don't worship my mother. And he's told us in form of scripture that's in the Bible. When
The dog's preparing his final resting place. I saw him put a little soft place for his head. Taking deep breaths, slowing his heart rate down.
He had an answer to it. And the answer was like, if my mother or my brother or, whoever, follows.
Do you ever feed those dogs? Why? You can get a new one each week at the pounds. Oh, they were disposable.
The Heavenly Father, my Heavenly Father, then they are my mother, my brother. Meaning, hey, if you represent and follow the teachings of my Father, the Heavenly Father, God, then you are, and I am considering you to be family. Okay, this is all true. This all goes to the Bible. But see, now we have to digest it, and that's what all those pastors are doing. Trust me, Sun Life Broadcasting is terrific in teaching the world before Genesis, in teaching the spiritual warfare world. Trust me, no one teaches it like they do.
Yeah, look, those dogs trusted you. Look at how they're going to end up. I wouldn't fucking trust you, bitch.
Skywatch TV. They know the Giants, they know the Watchers. Nobody knows it like they do. Then you pull up L.A. Mazzulli, and you pull up Billy Crone, and Gary Stearman, and Prophecy Watchers, okay? And then they go into, like, the transhumanism, okay? And everyone has...
Who paints their walls black. It wasn't enough to take away their fucking food and make them starve to death. She wants them to hate themselves, too. I think she runs a suicide kennel.
And we're comparing it all to the Bible. And the 700 books are out. Plus, they've been out. They're on the internet. You just have to start going to look.
The dog just stood up. He heard a pizza delivery driver 3 blocks away. Domino's?
The lost books. I can't give you one certain site. Go to YouTube. We've cleaned it up. It's all out there. It'll get even cleaner when we take this thing down, as we will. We're building to EBS. It's all got to go in order. But you'll get those 7 texts. The phone will go dark. 1 to 3.
Now I know why she did that 4-hour video she did out on her back porch. The dogs fucking locked her out. They probably got in the refrigerator and it's like, this is it. We just eat till we fucking die. Gorge yourself. Don't drink no water. Swell up. Well, this might be our last chance.
You have a generator. Make sure you get gas for it. You might need it. I can't tell you what and how long and all of that. But this is what's scheduled. And then at some point, the television will come back up and every single station, doesn't matter which one, will air the same thing. And it will be the documentary series.
He's given up on life again.
Military Tribunal television that you've been waiting for, okay? That's all coming. It's unfolding. You will see it happen. But I tell you, the world will be up.
How many times you think she's had her imaginary friends over? Because she probably doesn't have real friends. But her imaginary friends over. And the reason she put Trump next to this sarcophagus is because she's like, you guys know how close I am to Trump. And I always call him Dad. And this is my mommy. And then just stares off into the distance. There's like nothing there. She's just like staring. You guys get me.
When we remove Joe Biden from office and the states drop, boom, that's going to happen before EBS. We go in order. So trust me, even the naysayers, even the people that wanted to keep their head in the sand will be up because now Joe's been removed. Harris is not qualified. Pelosi, they find out, is arrested. That's when they find that out. And now Chuck Grassley's going to be their new president for a while in an interim. Do you think the world's going to wake up? Then all of a sudden they hear all these state audits are coming out. Don't you think the world will be up before EBS?
I don't think your dogs will be up tomorrow. I think this is it. Sayonara, we're signing off for the last time. Next time we come back, she'll have a lab and a collie in the background. They're like, where'd the fucking other dogs go? They keep giving them to me. I live in Florida. It's like fucking, it's like wilding out down here. You can get whatever you want.
But you have to remember, it's kind of all up in me, so it's going to come out the way God wants it to. But there's a lot of information, and that's all godly stuff. As all glory to the Lord. You see the music industry. You see
Put some food in the floor. How about that?
Prince led the way. Do you remember back in the day, Prince was leading the way on taking down the music industry, okay? They tried to make them all puppets. These 900 old-time celebrities, get rid of that word, take that out of the
Jeez, how many times have you stopped this, lady?
worship. There's only one you worship. Even the president stands at the podium.
It died. That was it. It's gone.
We all worship the Lord, okay? But they took down the music industry. That's for another video. But these 900 are real. And they were at the 4th of July rally. In the stands behind the president with a little mask on. Guess who else was there? Front row. Pinky. So yeah, they're real. John Lennon, real. Elvis Presley, not real. But he's Pastor Bob. But he is real. I mean, I don't mean like not real, but he is
Oh,
real.
it's back. She brought him back to life. He heard Presley. Thought he heard a pretzel.
I think of him as
Anything.
I've never once had an Elvis conversation with him, but I have a pastor conversation about the Bible and stuff, and he's guided me. We have had conversations, you know, because I don't want to come to this with any guilt. And I have some predisposition,
Well, to be fair, I think like ministers and people are like required to talk to you, especially if they think that you're fixing to take matters into your own hands. They can't just like be like, I gotta go, you know. The other line's ringing.
thoughts that have been in there, you know, and now all of a sudden I'm the electric company. Well, I don't worship money. You should never worship money. The love of money is the root of all evil. But we had conversations about having nicer things because on the other side, the prices are going to drop to the 50s, like in the 50s, and you'll be able to afford a lot more for your money. So I even said, you know, me and the electric company, I always like dreamed, because when I was a teenager, I had a picture of a white Lamborghini on my wall. Well, why couldn't I have a baby pink Lamborghini? You know, I worked hard for it. And then I started feeling guilty. You know, like God wouldn't want you to have that. No, it's the love of money. You can have nice things. And thank you, Pastor.
You can have nice things. You just got to fucking hate them. Like when you go out, just fucking key your own car, slash your own tires, and be like, I hate this. Love God. That's the difference. You get nice shit, then you just destroy it.
And I don't look at him as Elvis Presley. He explained things like that to me. And thank you, because he's been there.
Dog's down again.
Everybody in the team guiding Pinky. I appreciate it. I guide you through the, you know, Lord's discernment and whatever the Lord uses me for, and you guide me on the other side as, you know, Pinky's just down to earth. That's the bottom line. Speaking of Pinky.
Who the fuck is Pinky?
It's Saturday.
Oh, that's you?
And it's Pinky.
What? Whoa, what did you just swing in front of the camera? Look at that! Someone said she stalks like a pirate. There's her pirate face. What does she swing at us? Was it a dildo? You have one named Pinky. It's a flamingo or a G-spot stimulator. One of the two. Either way, Pinky out.
And it's Pinky's night. Oh, yes, it's like, you know that song, Ladies' Night? It should be Pinky.
Oh, it's Pinky's night. Ah. Pink in the stink. 2 in the front, 5 in the back. That's Mariah's favorite, the minivan. Kicking and screaming all the way.
Oh, yes, it's Pinky's night. And the moon.
Oh my! Oh no! It's a thumb. It's a thumb. It sticks on her thumb. It's some type of stimulator. That's not a toy, lady. Your dog was laying on that. That's how people get maggots. Look, Mariah. It's on her thumb. She flips it on her thumb and uses it.
Mood is right. Oh, yes, it's Pinky's night. Oh, what a night. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have...
Don't threaten me with a horrible time.
I try not to go off too much, but come on, Pinky's a cute little girl here. It's
Listen, feed your dogs before you go after that old moose knuckle. Jesus. Before you go splunking in the meat caverns, feed them fucking dogs. They'll smell that shit, and who knows what they'll see when they come in there. Pound of roast beef.
Pinky's night. Oh, yes, it's Pinky's night, and it's Pinky dance. Have fun, guys.
Touch your face with it.
It's a worldwide alliance like you've never seen. We are at peace. Keep God first. Keep praying. praying. And then don't stop sharing. This is where it counts now. Other people are going to want to fall off the bandwagon. The president knows you digital soldiers are the reason we're here right now. You woke everyone by your sharing on the internet. Thank you. Keep going. Thank you. We're almost done.
I'm glad I could introduce all the new people to Kimberly Cuntitch. That's been we haven't seen her in a long time. Like the last one was when her dogs, of course, locked her out on the porch. It was like a 4-hour video. She kept complaining about how hot it was. She was like in the direct sunlight. She was getting dizzy and shit. She just kept on talking. It was a pretty good one. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. That's it for me. I'm gonna be on Tony's show coming up in a couple days after I finish my show. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for the donations. We had $40 from Bulldozer, 30 from Cal, 30. I'm sorry, 10 from 30 Cal Gal. The Huntsman, that was just straight. Thank you very much for that donation. And over on Buy Me a Coffee, we had 1 or 2. Let me refresh them and see. Don't believe anybody that believes or endorses Phil. And now we can mark Jaco off the list.
Good night.
The fuck out of here. I'm about to make your cunt itch. John Frank bought you 3 6-packs. Enjoyed the camper tour. Thank you very much. And someone bought you 5. That was from last night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for the support. We'll be back tomorrow night. Like I said, I'm going to try to go on Tony's show after my show one night. Hang out with them, talk about some shit. High impact flicks, I think is what we're covering. But thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get out of here for the night, but you guys can hit me up on Telegram, Discord, whatever. You guys got the links if you need them, and we will see you guys on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.
Man, I can't talk to you now. Why do people call me while I'm on? No. Shut up.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Yeah.
It's some office about to get lit. Get the place in the face, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Uh-oh.
It's some office about to get lit. Get the place in the face, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And yeah. Woo, woo.
And Mars in the house. Hey.
The song, the jab, pine needle tea,
Underground Doms save the children.
Social Security card claims, birth certificate claims, Vatican Tunnel,
Medbed,
martial law.
1745, 10 Days of Darkness, digging tunnels, Dogecoin, the Evergreen, 19, Vaseline, boom. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Well, Johnny, you can go to Mommy's basement. The Nazis were working with the reptilians.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. It's some office about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
We are now the news.
Thank you guys. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.